what is going to happen tonight.
And a very good morning. Welcome to live coverage of the final day here at the ICC Women's Qualifier Europe 2019. Scotland are taking on Germany here. In the first game of two today, we got Scotland taking on Germany. Then we have Germany taking on the Netherlands. I'm Ian Leggett, and I'm going to be your commentator today alongside former Irish international cricket player. And for the final time this summer, I'll be sat alongside Kira Metcalf. How are you doing today?
I'm really good, Ian. Thank you. This is going to be a fantastic day of cricket, and I'm really excited for this. Just on speaking to some of the members of the German team just there, they're really excited. A big day for them, a double header. Let's see how they get on. That's a challenge in itself. But everything's aligned and we're ready to go.
Yeah, this is a game of huge importance here for for Scotland in the first one, then the Netherlands. They're both tied at the top, but Netherlands are ahead on net run rate after that huge victory they secured over Germany 2 days ago. But Scotland today, what was the result of the toss?
The toss has been won by Germany, and they've chose to field. And just looking at their warm-up there, they're ready to go. And again, going back to just having that conversation, they feel they've learned so much over this week, and they're really keen to build on the little wins that we've spoke about and just to try put together an overall performance.
So Scotland today, I'm going to be batting first, and ideally, we do not know the exact figures, and we won't know the exact figures until later on in the day. But Scotland are going to want to put on a big total. They're going to want to do what Netherlands did against Germany a couple days ago, put on a big total and put that net run rate in their favour towards the final game.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're going to have to hit the ground running from ball one. But again, we've spoke about standards over the week and about the Dutch and the Scots and what they're capable of. And I think if they just stick to their game plans and really just go about their innings in the correct way and run hard between the wickets, put the ball away, and I don't see there being a problem at all today for them.
Absolutely. Well, the sun is baking down here at La Manga. An absolutely gorgeous day. I think it's going to be a really hot one here. This European heat wave is finally having an effect here at La Manga.
You've put on sun cream how many times today?
14, maybe rough estimate. I don't know. Well, I made a crucial mistake yesterday of just popping down to go and get some food. And it was like lunchtime, because obviously it was a day off, and walked outside, and it must have been a 2-minute walk. Was already sunburnt.
Well, I think you're looking tanned.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Honestly, I know it's our final day together.
Yeah.
You're filling me with the compliments already.
Let's concentrate on the cricket.
But this is... Thank you so much. Well, this is a really exciting game of cricket today. And we saw the most dramatic of finishes in the Scotland versus Netherlands game. And it went down to a super over. I mean, incredibly exciting, incredibly dramatic, incredibly thrilling. What an occasion! What an advertisement for this sport.
Ian, it was fantastic. The Dutch had two young batters out there who really stood up when they were needed and pushed the game to the final over. I think from our perspective, we were looking and it was just all happening. There was run-outs, there was nearly a boundary. We thought actually that the Scots had done it, and then it was gone to the extra over, the super over, and again, I think it was Scotland definitely took control of the super over, but a fantastic result and a fantastic day's cricket.
Yeah, we also saw that day, we saw an incredible century from Ster Callis, the 19-year-old. It was really the highlight of the day. 126, she scored off 76 balls, equaling the highest T20 international individual score by a batter in women's international cricket. Matching was at Lanning. She matched Meg Lanning there. An incredible knock, and it was so good to see. And we will see the Netherlands in action. But what we did see was a performance by Catherine Bryce, which was a player of the match. She picked up the two crucial wickets in that game. Both of she picked up Ster Callis and then Denise van Deventer as well in 2 consecutive balls. How crucial of a moment was that?
Yeah, it was game changing, and it was surprising actually because the 2 guys had a good game earlier on, and then Denise had been, for the previous games, had been batting really, really well. I think the big thing for me, we're mentioning the bigger names there, and I think at this level they should be standing out. But some of the guys, De lead behind the wickets for the Dutch. We have the German young bowler who's going to bowl here again, Emma Bergner. Is that sorry?
Emma Wagner, yeah.
Sorry.
My handwriting's terrible, unfortunately.
I think they've actually been the standout things for this tournament. There's lots of girls coming onto the international stage and finding their feet and not being afraid to actually show off, which is fantastic.
Yeah, it's been brilliant to see, and we've seen lots of little wonderful moments in this tournament. We saw a couple of gorgeous catches as well by Scotland. The last time these 2 sides met, it was a very low-scoring affair. It was the first game of this tournament, so we're right back at the beginning here. Each side gets a double-header day, and Scotland had their double-header day on the first day of this tournament. Low-scoring affair. Germany were put into bat by Catherine Bryce after winning the toss, and after 20 overs, they got 37 for 8. Scotland chased that down, did manage to lose 2 wickets, and that was thanks to the bowling 14-year-old Emma Wagner, but they completed that thanks to Sarah Bryce and Becky Glenn, and they got that in 6 overs. But it should be a different affair today. Like I said, Germany won the toss, elected to field first, so I think that's both a tactical decision. I think they want to bat out the 20 overs, they want to gain more experience, and I think they got an opportunity here. We've seen some fragility in the Scotland batting lineup in all their games today. I think they're going to want to claim some wickets today, early on. Yeah,
this is going to be an interesting test, and I've mentioned standards again this morning, and Scotland need to come out here and show who's boss, and that's no disrespect to Germany, but if they want to go on about their cricket, they really need to just keep to their standards, play their good cricket, and stick to their game plans. On a positive note, though, we have Stu. One of the Scottish dads is here in full kilt again. I think that could bring some luck. And a couple of the other supporters here, they'll be greeting their team onto the pitch with their usual anthem singing.
Yeah, there's been wonderful support for all the teams throughout this tournament, as we just see the German team in a huddle there. We just had a chat, actually, with Stephanie Fronmeyer on the boundary. We were just doing a quick lap beforehand and just stretching our legs before doing a stint here, and it was really nice to hear their kind of positive attitude. And it's been a really tough tournament for Germany as they've playing in their first T20 internationals here, but there's been this wonderful enthusiasm, this wonderful attitude. If you follow the women's national side on social media, it's Golden Eagles on Twitter. They've just had the most wonderful social media presence as well. New day, new challenges is kind of their attitude, and it's so wonderful to see.
Absolutely, and just as I mentioned to some of the German players, that all of the big teams that are out there at the moment, they've all been in this situation. They've had to learn. They've had to spend lots of hours grinding away, playing a lot of cricket, and getting a lot of it wrong. And and then all of a sudden it clicks on what you're trying to do, your skill or as a team. And it's nice to watch, and they're going to grow over the next few years. And I think people just have to be patient and just let them do their thing.
Well, we're just seeing the 2 opening batters here for Scotland, and it should be Sarah Bryce and Catherine Bryce. The Bryce sisters, who yesterday got off to a flying start against the Netherlands. Catherine Bryce moving from 3 to number 2 after Lorna Jack departed early in both opening innings, as we are hearing Flower of Scotland being wrung out here in La Manga. Plenty of saltires and a lion rampant. We've also seen a couple of German flags, and there's one actually with the Golden Eagle. We've got that wonderful banner, and there you see the parents on your screen there.
They've actually been fantastic.
The travelling
They
band.
always travel. I've seen them at lots of tournaments now. They're great supporters.
Well, it is going to be the Bryces here to open up, and there are actually the 2 parents there of Catherine and Sarah Bryce. How proud they must be on this occasion. But a huge match, and if this is your first time tuning in, it's important that we stress there is a lot at stake here for Scotland and the Netherlands. And the situation they're in is not only a place for the global qualifier for the T20 World Cup, but this is also acting as a qualifier for the Women's World Cup global qualifier as well for the 50 over competition. It's going to be Emma, pardon me, it's going to be Emma Barnett opens the bowling, and a sweep shot there by Sarah Bryce to opening the scoring account. It's gone for 4. 4 off the first ball there, and they're straight off the mark with a boundary. But this is, yes, this is 14-year-old Emma Bardner opening the bowling. Now, she managed to pick up 2 wickets in that first game, and she actually claimed the first ever wickets for Germany's women's side in international cricket. Push forward there, and that's going to head towards the boundary. And this is from Mayer doing the fielding there. Long off. That's a really nice confident strike there already there by Sarah Bryce.
You can see Germany have had a little think about their fielding positions, which is good. I'm still a little bit muddled about how they have a short square and someone standing directly behind, but listen, it's all learning as they go. But definitely this mid-on, mid-off region we did highlight the other day. Cost them 40 or 50 runs.
We actually had a chat there with Emma Bardner's dad. Came up and had a conversation with us, just speaking about her daughter. And at 14 years old, she's actually the captain of Munich. And just was a wide delivery there. Well, she's actually captain of Munich ladies side.
That's right.
Who've won the league in 2 consecutive seasons. But 14 years old, captaining that side and now playing for Germany. She's got a bright future ahead of her.
Absolutely, and I believe her grandmum played for England back in the 50s. And her dad is based in Germany, and she is so keen on her cricket, and they're really excited to let her grow, and this is a great day for her. There's actually lots of German supporters arriving in now. Wow.
And that's the first wicket, and we've just seen that one, and it was almost a half-hearted appeal there from the Germans. But that's given out, and that's an early blow there. And Emma Bardner picks up her 3rd wicket here in the tournament, 3rd wicket in international cricket. As we see Sarah Bryce depart there after hitting a 4 and a single. And a wicket here in the first over for Germany. Scotland 1 down, 7 for 1 here in the first over.
That actually took us both by surprise.
Yeah.
We thought it was going down leg. It's just our angle of looking at it. But well done to Germany. They've picked up an early scalp, and this is game on for Scotland now. There's big pressure on them here.
Massive wicket. Sarah Bryce, she's very capable of scoring runs. 54 runs she'd scored in the tournament so far. Was in the top 5 and has played very commanding starts, but it's going to be Becky Glenn joining Catherine Bryce here. They're going to need a knuckle down here. This game is crucial for net run rate. We will put the points table up in a minute just to show you where it all stands, but Catherine Bryce is going to need a knuckle down here and play another captain's knock. Yesterday she performed very well. The bat scored 34 and 39, and those wickets tumbling all around the captain. But Emma Bardner, another wicket here in the tournament for the 14-year-old. A great story.
And she just bowls that awkward length. She's a small little unit at the moment, but she just that awkward pace. And as she grows, I'm sure she'll get a little bit faster, but it's actually very effective for T20 cricket. And as you can see, she's picking up wickets. I think this was not in the Scots game plan here for this morning, but they have to reassess, have a look and see what they have to do and go to plan B.
Well, let's just have a quick look at this points table, and what you're going to see is the Netherlands on top there and Scotland in second. 3 matches both played, 2-1, 1 loss. But if you look at that right-hand column there, net run rate, Netherlands were commanding lead there after putting on a big total against Germany. As it's going to be from there, Stephanie from there, the ball here from the scoreboard end. And the second over here, 7-1 for Scotland. Just seeing, well, you have to excuse us if we occasionally just dart away from the microphone. There are a lot of flies here in our commentary position, and we're putting our karate chops out to evade them.
That's well bowled. Just it has to be supported by the field as well. Just Germany want to continue to build their pressure. This is another good start from them.
Let's just play it away nicely onto the offside, but this slow outfield again. It's not going to... It's been really one of the stories of the week here. There's been a lot of balls that have been punished, but as soon as it reaches the final metre before the boundary, the outfield here is very dense, thick grass, and kind of soaks up the ball, and it's restricting the boundaries here. You said it was going to be a bit of a fitness week, as the ball is going to run away to the boundary now, and again it just slows up and it just touches the rope right at the end there, and it's going to be a wide 4 wides onto the scoreboard for Scotland. Germany are going to need to find their line here early on. Scotland will be happy to see more and more runs tick over on the scoreboard. Very important game here. Yeah, but it's been a bit of a fitness week for the batters. And a lot of running between the wickets. And Germany with their double-headed today, and the temperature is going to be baking hot in the afternoon. You're going to have to handle the double-header here. Netherlands in the afternoon. It's going to be pretty relentless. I think they haven't locked out. Pulled away. Big shot to the boundary. Catherine Bryce there. Full toss. And the full treatment from Catherine Bryce there. Another 4 onto the scorecard. And another 4 onto her scorecard.
I think you've hit the nail on the head with regards to fitness, and just this has been a big week for Germany. They wouldn't be used to playing this amount of cricket. And the second game, they must, in between innings, really use their head and get out of the sun, help the youngsters on their team. It's all part and part of cricket. Just everyone thinks that it's everything on the field. There's so much more that goes into the prep and just looking after yourself off the field.
That's actually a really nice story there for Emma Wagner. Her dad and her uncle made the journey over. They've been watching the coverage, but they made the journey over, and they've seen their niece and daughter pick up a wicket here in the first over. 20 for 1 to 2 overs. Catherine Bryce found the boundary early on here. Need to settle in.
Germany really need to work hard for this next 3 overs, and get through the power play. And then use their fielders when they can spread the field wisely, and just let Scotland do all the work that they have to do, and just restrict down boundaries as much as they can and bowl in good areas.
Well, there's only the one change for Scotland today. Sam Hago's come out, and 14-year-old Catherine Fraser is in for Scotland. Fantastic story again. Another youngster here getting a debut in international women's cricket. Might even see an appearance of Catherine Fraser bowling. She's got the most wonderful action. If anyone's caught her in the Scottish Women's Regional Series, the Eagles and the Stormers. She's picked up a few wickets there. She earned herself an international cap. Becky Glencke for a single there. Was a little misfield by Christina Goff. down an extra cover, but no run there. I'm sure Scotland will be eager just to settle in here in the early part of the game. Plenty overs to come. Push to a hit very hard. Has it got the legs to find the boundary? It doesn't. It just slows up as they reach the boundary rope there. They're going to run 3. Really good running as Catherine Price does some evasive action as she stumbles into Emma Wagner there at the bowler's end. And that's another 3 on there. It's good running by the batters. And there's one of those deliveries there by Wagner, the ones that just kind of float in, and it's very difficult for the batter to hit. Wonderful bowling here from the 14-year-old. Hit hard. There is a fielder there at deep extra cover. Looks like that's Wade and Paul out there.
I think Germany as a fielding unit look a little bit sharper today. Their reactions are better. Just maybe reading the game just a little bit better today. Just one thing I'd like to see them do is, though, the fielders that are in the circle, maybe use the circle a little bit more. They're kind of caught in the middle of nowhere. They're giving away the single, but then they're not stopping additional runs. So, but again, that comes with experience. They'll need to use the circle much better. Or the inner field, shall I say.
Slotted away, manages to find the gap there and cuts it between the fielders at Poynton. Backward point again, doesn't have the legs to find the boundary. It's almost a shame actually, because so many nice shots are being executed really, really nicely here, but they're just not getting the due rewards.
Yeah, and even the last ball of the Super, or the actual main game, Scotland and Holland the other day, De Lead had played that ball down to fine leg.
Yeah.
And on a faster pitch that would have been gone. It could have been changing the whole tournament.
Could have secured that victory.
Yeah,
it really was
it's definitely played its part.
It was all over the Twitter sphere, that game, and I was reading some names. And that's just a really nice cover drive there. But Wade and Paul does the collecting duties as they manage to pick up another 2. Really hard running there between the wicket. Move on to 29 for 1 inside the 4th over. Yeah, there was, I heard, big shot there. Becky Glenn gets the first maximum of the day, pulls that over, and that just lands over the boundary for the first 6 of the day. Massive shot there, and it was a bit of a kind of easy delivery to hit there by From there. It was a bit of a gift.
Very full, and she put it away. No field right there, so low risk, and Holly Colvin fielded it down there. I didn't throw it back in over the top, though.
Expecting more there from a former English international
she
cricketer.
Approached it well, stayed low, left arm ready. Yeah.
Well, the calculators have been out in all the camps here, figuring out the net run rate requirements, all the different scenarios that we could be put in. Shorter delivery again, pulled away, but this time just finds end of the over there. And
it really is hot here just for early morning, and I know some of the youngsters out there will definitely feel that. There's a water break at 10, but the more experienced people in the German side, and they just need to rally around and make sure everyone's been looked after, because they've got to get 2 games out of this team and try their best for both games.
It's only 11:15 local time here, and it's already this hot. I think the temperature is going to be rising throughout the day, and this afternoon fixture is going to be very hot indeed for Germany and the Netherlands. Scotland maybe lucked out here, just playing the early fixture. Big task ahead of them though.
Again, Emma just puts it on the spot here, and she's asking the batter to do the work.
Just having a look around the ground right now, and there's so much support here for these two sides. I think we've seen a couple of the Dutch girls in as well.
Oh, well fielded.
You've been highlighting, that was Paris Wadenpol there doing the fielding at point. Really nice dive to the ground, to the left-hand side. No, you've been talking about the importance of just watching the cricket all week and getting all the experience you can.
Totally agree. I don't think women in general watch enough cricket. I just think you can learn so much how teams go about their game. You know, how to power plays, yes. Confusing my words. Just line, length, how they field. Yeah, there's just so much to learn. You can see just from coaching little guys that they can tell if they've watched, say, Steve Smith all day, because they come out and they have his stance and his little, you know, twitchy bits.
Oh.
But listen, you definitely learn something from it.
Full delivery, almost goes for the sweep shot there and just mistimes that. Does Becky Glenn. There's more flies coming to attack us here.
They're only attacking you, Ian.
What a surprise. Really nice bowling there from Wagner at the end of the over.
It's actually like it's you know, it's up and down, but it's kind of like a spinner's sort of. She's asking the questions of the batter. She's putting it up just maybe a little bit over their eye line, getting it to dip down just in front of them, and it's actually really, really effective for T20 cricket. And as she gets stronger and taller, she's no doubt going to be a great bowler for the German team. Do you have lots of water with you today, Ian?
Oh, so much. So much. Got my small bottle, got my big bottle. This heat wave hitting Europe right now, you know. Even the UK. I thought I was evading Scotland and getting a nice trip in the sun, but it turns out Edinburgh's being bathed in sunshine right now. So I hope everyone's enjoying this, maybe sitting outside and listening to this game. It's been wonderful being covering this tournament. Seen a lot of good cricket, and great final day ahead of us here at the ICC Women's Qualifier Europe 2019 as we have a guest in the studio. So we're being joined by Esther, former Dutch international cricket player. Esther, how are you doing today? Are you hot?
I'm doing very well today, Ian, thank you. It is warm.
Esther DeLong.
But it's not unbearable. Yeah, it's a very sunny day out here. Blue skies. We had some overcast days in previous match days, but today it's been sunny since the sun has come up, which has probably affected the outfield a little bit. It's dried up quicker than the other day, so it should be an interesting batting innings here to watch.
What's actually good is as well, although it is windy and swirly here, because that's the way, I think the way to describe it. It's not one particular way. It's not as bad as it was the other day, and just with some of the German bowlers not being as strong, it'll help them as well today.
Yeah, it was blowing a gale the other day, definitely.
Big shot there. Has it got the legs to go for 6? Well, it doesn't. It just slows up on this outfield once again. 1-2 bounce, and then suddenly it stops. Wadenpol does the fielding there.
The Germany team have looked better in the field today.
Yeah, they look a bit sharper,
Yeah.
and on it, they've been diving around a little bit, which is good to see.
Mm-hmm.
They had a practice session yesterday. I'm not sure what they did, but I'm sure they've worked on their fielding a little bit. And discussed what to do when the ball's getting hit at you pretty hard. So
Yeah.
it's good to see them diving around, putting their bodies on the line.
Because I think that's something that they can fix and address pretty quick. I think the bowling will come and the batting will come with more experience out in the middle, and just, I suppose, learning what works best for how their skill is performed.
Pushed onto the offside there and grabs another single.
I actually just highlighted a few minutes, Esther, a few minutes ago, just how they're using the circle. There's a lot of fielders getting caught in no man's land, especially the mid-on and mid-off. They're kind of not on the circle, they're not in, they're not saving the one, and it's just something I suppose they'll learn as they go on.
Yeah, it might be a tactic with these two batters looking to hit the ball pretty hard, that they'd rather save the boundary than save the one for those straight fielders. I'm not sure what they discussed about that, but that could be the thinking behind it. But yeah, like you say, the experience will, they'll learn from that.
Slots away and plays the sweep shot here again. It's just going to slow up. Emma Bargner's doing the chasing, and it does find the boundary. And number 4 there, and a really nice shot from Catherine Bryce. Played the sweep shot perfectly at the end of the over. It's moving on 46 for 1 after 6 overs. So obviously, you're part of the planning team for this tournament, and have been for ICC Europe. Seeing Germany on the final day here, it brings a smile to your face, it must.
Absolutely, I'm sitting here smiling. It's very exciting to have them here in their first IC event, and I've been told they're enjoying every minute of it. So that's really, really positive, and we'd love to see them again in future events and future tournaments that are happening.
Well, this bowler. This is one of these young German bowlers. Emma Bargner, really impressive throughout the tournament. There's the sweep shot. Half appeal there for LBW. The umpire remains motionless. Seeing 14-year-olds like Emma Bargner, it's incredible, isn't it?
It's very encouraging. She's learned her cricket in Germany, and it's very encouraging to see a 14-year-old come in and do well at this level. And well, that one gets put away, but she's bowled pretty consistently so far.
It's just gone for 4. Just that fuller ball put away. And Scotland move on to 40 or 50 for 1.
Well, after losing the early wicket of Sarah Bryce, it was a big wicket Germany got there. They know that Catherine Bryce's sister and the wicketkeeper Baddow was perfectly capable of scoring runs. She scored 54 runs in the tournament, but Becky Glenn and Catherine Bryce keeping the run rate high here, and that's exactly what Scotland are going to need to do. Is another just forward push there, and it's going to be picked up by Fronmeyer out in the deep. Another single onto the scorecard, and well, it's a tense day here, Esther, and once again, these kind of regional European tournaments proving how exciting cricket can be.
Yep, there's a lot at stake today, but both Scotland and Netherlands are competing for a spot in the 50 over pathway. And for the Netherlands, they'll be keen to secure their spot in the 20 over qualifier as well. If Scotland win this game, then Netherlands are secured of that position. But it will come down to the result of the final day, final game on who gets that final qualification spot in the 50 over pathway.
I actually think that was a no ball. I think they had 3 fielders out there. Or we're in the 7th. Sorry, my bad. I'm actually zoned out here. Sorry.
Well, we're out of the power play now, so I think Germany have done well to keep the score to what it is within the power play, because I think Scotland were looking to hit a lot of boundaries early on and maximise that opportunity. So they'll probably spread the field now and be a bit more defensive in their field setting. Good take down the leg side by the keeper there. Use the feet well.
What's next for you, Esther?
I've got a week off next week to to recover from a few intense weeks of tournament cricket.
Big shot. And it's going to go for another boundary here. Becky Glenn finding the boundary rope once again. A really nice sweep shot as they're just calling for water here. Now the water break is in 3 overs time. But I think that's just a sign of how hot it is out there. I can only imagine. I mean, we're sitting in a kind of tented pagoda here, and it's baking hot. I can only imagine what it's like in your pads and in the baking La Manga sun here.
Yeah, the umpires have had a discussion before this game, and they've agreed to prioritise player welfare. So
run out there, direct hit, but
they're monitoring the heat and they're monitoring their need for water. They just want to make sure there's no heat-related injuries today.
I'm sure player welfare coming first here in the tournament. Another single there, 59 for 1 here in the 8th over. Bryce on 21, Becky Glenn on 24 here. Really nice partnership building for Scotland. Slotted away and manages to find that gap again between backward point and grabs another single. We chat about how tense it is and how much is at stake here, but at the end of the day, it's just more experience for these girls in tournament cricket, and it's exciting as well. And is that, it's one of the costs of how cutthroat and lethal it is, but on the other hand, it is really good experience for some of the younger players.
It is great experience, and it's something you can't really replicate. The fact that there is something at stake and there's something to play for, it creates a meaning to the game that is. You just can't replicate it in any other format. So, if you're playing even bilateral T20s, they are now more meaningful than they were before. But when it comes down to it, the ICC events where opportunity is on the line, that's where a special kind of pressure does its bit to create an exciting tournament.
Wonderful shot there, played on the back foot by Catherine Bryce. I think it might run away to the boundary. It's the longer side down there, and you have to hit it with some force to reach it. Just manages to grab another 2 runs there, and they are going to grab some drinks here at the end of the 8th over. As we see Hannah Rainey coming on. The substitute fielders today, and putting a cold towel around Catherine Bryce. We're just going to take look at the batting cards so far here. 64 for 1. And as you can see, the early wicket there of Sarah Bryce departing for 5 after hitting a 4 on the first delivery of the innings. But Catherine Bryce and Becky Glenn off to a really good start here.
Yeah, they're using the field and the bowling wisely. And again, I don't think it's really, challenging too much, and that run rate can definitely go up more in the next 10 overs. They've got lots of time here, and they just need to use it wisely.
Well, they have time and wickets in hand, so I would expect them to try and accelerate a bit in the next couple of overs, and then really power in the last 6.
There's Emma Wagner, 14-year-old from her 4 overs, 21 runs and 1 wicket. A wonderful sight again, but Stephanie from there and Pierce Wade and Paul struggling to break this partnership up. We're going to see Wade and Paul bowl again here from the scoreboard end in La Manga as a breeze hits, and that's a nice relief for everyone here in La Manga. Played really nicely there. Nice use of the wrist by Catherine Bryce. Another single onto the scorecard. So in general, the last 2 weeks from the European finals in Guernsey and now this women's qualifier, been a pretty successful couple of weeks here for ICC Europe.
Yeah, we've seen fantastic cricket, and we've seen really closely fought matches, and that's for us is phenomenal, because it really gives extra meaning to the tournament, and people get to see the quality of the players, and get to see how close these teams are to each other in a way. Is that a bowling change?
Let's see, no.
Yes.
Yeah, no. Let's see, they had one to come, and they only had the one delivery there, and I think they just missed a couple of the umpires. Now we're seeing, this is Anna Healy coming into bowl, and it's a big full delivery, and that's given a punishment there by Catherine Bryce, and it has rolled away for 4, and you cannot deliver them. The start of the over to Catherine Bryce, as she will just slot that away. A big pull shot, and another 4 for Scotland. 69 for 1 now in the 9th over. Well, Anna Healy just going to have to find her line and length here. That's a bit better. That's a straight hit there, and that's one of the shots of the day. It does slow up as it hits the boundary. What a wonderful shot there by Catherine Bryce. A nice straight hit for 4 consecutive boundaries for Scotland now.
It was a much better ball though. She put it in the right areas, but the field is not out there to save the boundary, so it went away for 4. Fantastic shot.
Yeah, nice balance, but that's what she's capable of, and I think she's got to maintain her standards and just bat at that level, push that score up.
Well, really nice line there again from Anna Healy, but just pushes away for a single, and it's a bit of relief there for Germany. And we actually said this 2 days ago. Catherine Bryce will be eager to perform, not only as the captain of her side, but on a personal level. Fantastic player, being selected for Loughborough Lightning in the Kia Super League, and her spot after successful, well, playing very well down at Loughborough University. Bit high in the air, there isn't a player at deep square leg, and it's just slowed up again as it hits this dense outfield, and 2 onto the scoreboard there. But you know, after going for on the first day, you know, in the double header, departing for 2 in both them innings, and then earning a player of the match yesterday, it was a real good fight back from the Scotland captain. Swept away, and again that could roll away to the boundary, and
She actually plays that shot really, really well. Commits fully, brings the bat through nicely.
She got into a good position for it, used her feet well to adjust and try and work it into the leg side. It's good cricket.
the run rate currently sitting at a 9.1. It's exactly where the Scots are going to want it. Net run rate going to play a huge factor in deciding who finishes top of the table here. Who grabs that qualifying spot? Struck the pad there, and I think there was also a bit of bat involved.
Yeah, that was an inside edge onto the pads, definitely. But a better ball from Anna Healy. Ball in the right line now. See if she can do that again.
Good hands by the keeper there.
Good end to the over after that first 2 deliveries going for boundaries. Started bowling a better line towards the end of the over, so we'll probably see another one from her.
Well, this is the Scotland's playing 11, and they have got batters to come. Chatterjee has performed well with the bat, was part of that near chase and that thriller, and the first thriller between Scotland and Netherlands, where Netherlands beat Scotland by 9 runs, and it's got the likes of Rachel Scholes who can perform with the bat as well, and Katie McGill and Ruth Willis have performed as well. So obviously Scotland will not want to break up this partnership, but there is plenty of ability with the bat to come. 79 for 1 after 9 overs here. Bowling change here.
Milena Beresford.
Some right arm spin.
The pitch is looking very dry and dusty, so it could be very interesting for the spinners here, and especially later on today when it's had a few more hours in the sun.
They have had some turn in the tournament so far. Likes of Caroline de Lange, one of the standout performances in this tournament for the Netherlands and also in general, and also up to her Maxud for Scotland. She could have a bit of fun out there today. Hit hard. There isn't a fielder there at long on. And it's just gone for 4 again. A big cheer from the Scotland 10. Catherine Bryce grabs another boundary, moves on to 38 now. Her individual score. It's a really confident strike again there from the Scotland captain. After seeing the display put on by Stur Callis, it's encouraging that there are runs out there. Hit the ball hard enough. Now they have put someone out there at long on now just to stop that shot again. Anna Healy just putting out there.
Just moving the fielder around there and getting it right on this occasion. I'd actually like to see them maybe push someone out in the off, but it's getting, the field placement's getting better.
Big shot again. I think it's going to go for 6. No, and it's just one bounce for. Weidenpohl did stick a hand out there just to try and stop the bouncing ball, but another boundary here. That's 2 fours in the over. Becky Glenn this time.
Oh, she did well to find a gap because there were 2 fielders out there and it just went between them and at a pace that they couldn't reach. So they've got 4 out on the leg side now. Someone behind square, someone just in front of square, and that mid-wicket boundary and long on. So boundaries are covered, but she's still finding the gaps.
Tries the sweep shot and it's a wide. Was it vicious? Almost brushes past the bat of Becky Glenn there. Looked like she nicked that and then went straight into the hands of Vijay Ragahavan behind the stumps.
It's actually a really nice flight there. Very slow approach and just pushing it up and asking the batter to put the speed on the ball. They have to do the work.
Hit hard into the air and over the head there of Christina Goff, fielding it mid-off, and another single there for Becky Glenn. That's the end of the over, and that's going to be drinks here. Well, 90 for 1 here is Scotland near the hundreds. A wonderful partnership of Catherine Bryce and Becky Glenn. We're just going to take a quick break here for drinks. 90 for 1 Scotland. Welcome back. Scotland 90-1 against Germany here in the second last game of the ICC Women's Qualifier Europe 2019. Scotland looking to put on a big total here and challenge the Netherlands at the top of the table on net run rate. Crucial games here, a lot at stake. Scotland have secured a position in the global qualifier for the T20 World Cup because they are the hosts in Scotland later this year. But there is a place at the global qualifier for the Women's World Cup. That's the 50-over competition, which is going to be in 2021. But yet decided location, yet decided on date and time. A massively important situation for these two sides. And Germany here, playing in their first global competition. So what do you think the message there was to the Scotland batters? More of the same from the coaches?
Yeah, and I think they've got to 90 off 10 very easily. They've put away the bad ball, and I definitely think they can up their run rate, and there's way more in the tank here for Scotland. They can really take this away. I'm really interested to see De Lange bowl for the Dutch later on this wicket. She got a lot of turn yesterday. This wicket's definitely ready for the spinners today.
Full of delivery there by Anna Healy and really nice bowling. And once again, we're seeing in this tournament the German side all the way around the ground, giving words of encouragement to every little moment of brilliance here from the national side. What a wonderful energy they've had all tournament. Full of delivery, and that shot through the covers, and if that finds the boundary, that's going to be one of the shots of the day. It is rolling towards us here in our commentary position, but it slows up. Christina Goff, the captain, does the fielding, and it's such a shame. It's such a wonderful cricket shot there and a beautiful cover drive, but it doesn't quite have the legs to reach the boundary.
I totally agree, and I just said, I think Scotland could up a gear, but in fairness to them, it should be actually 120 nearly off 10 because they should be fours.
Hit high in the air, and it could be caught here. Oh, just falls short. A little lifeline there for Becky Glenn. It fell quite sharply, but it just bounced. And
I think in time she'll take those catches. It sat up, okay, it was probably swirling a little bit in the wind, but I definitely see that as a chance. And again, just, it's experience, and I think in time, judging by how she bowls, she will eat those for breakfast.
yeah, Emma Wagner just running in there from deep fine leg, and it just fell short. Maybe the dive could have happened, but and the over 95-1 after 11 overs here, and we're going to see Beresford bowl again from the scoreboard end here in La Manga. Swept hard. Could be a one bounce four, and it is. Just avoids the hands of Emma Wagner. Wonderfully confident sweep shot once again by Becky Glenn. She's playing them with a lot of conviction, Esther.
Yeah, she's again used her feet really well to get herself into a position to work that ball between the two fielders. Because if she'd stayed where she was and played that same shot, it would have gone straight to the fielder. So she used her feet, got into a position, and got it between the two fielders on the boundary down at square leg. So very well played there.
Both the batters now in the 40s. Just a single there, really well fielded.
That's 100 up for Scotland. Big cheers.
Yeah, Matt, they're going to be targeting a 200 plus score, you'd have to think, after seeing the Netherlands get 190. Full of delivery, and that's smacked away. And it's dropped. Long off. Looks like Anna Healy did the dropping there. It was straight into the hands. It was a bit of a gift to the ball, but it wasn't hit hard enough by Catherine Bryce. And another lifeline here for Scotland as this partnership continues. 101 for 1 now in the 12th over. Plays the sweep shot again. Emma Wagner going to do the collecting duties, and another single there. Well, another lifeline here, and to kind of well, that was a definite missed opportunity there. Did it bounce out the hands? Was it a difficult one to take?
Yeah, as a spinner as well, your boundary fielders are part of your bowling. You know, you're relying on them to take a catch. You know, as spinners, you're putting it up there, giving it extra flight. You want the batter to play their shots. So on that occasion, that's another missed chance. I'd actually like to see this bowler just push it a little bit more in the offside, because at the moment the 4 fielders that are out are all on the leg side, and just maybe tighten up the line there on the offside.
Well, you've got to give it to Germany. They are creating the chances, so take the positives from that. There was two opportunities there in the last 2 overs, so they might be creating a few more opportunities in the overs to come.
And the more risks the batters are going to take, more chances will come here. Glenn now facing on 42. 35 deliveries.
Nice, Ian.
Thank you. Plays that sweep shot again, and I think that's going to go for 6. What a wonderful shot there by Becky Glenn. A sweep shot for 6. Oh, she's playing that with such magnificence. Well, that brings the 110 for 1 after 12 overs here. Becky Glenn on 48. Catherine Bryce on 44. A costly over there for Melina Beresford. 8 overs to come. Scotland targeting a big score here. Net run rate going to prove a pivotal opportunity here now. The highest total we've seen so far was 196 for 3 after 20 overs. That was the Netherlands. That included a century by Ster Callis. A wonderful knock by Denise van Deventer. Some good batting as well by Heather Seegers. At the moment, all Scotland 110 for 1. As flies attack us in the commentary position once again.
The wind's picked up again. Got to wonder how that's going to affect the bowlers and the line they're going to try to bowl. They might be pushing it a little bit more towards the stumps rather than try and bowl on the offside. If the wind picks it up, it takes it even further wide. So
just glances that behind. I wonder if there was any bat on that. So they sneak a single, and is the signal leg byes? It is by the umpire.
Ian's voice broke there.
Thanks for pointing that out, Kira. Always rely on you for pointing out my flaws. Shorter delivery and almost hit the stumps there. That's going to run away, and Wagner's doing the chasing. And another signal for byes there. From there for a couple already. It's been unfortunate. Katarika Vijaya Ragahaven behind the stumps here for Germany and just unable to get her hands on it. Plays the cut shot there.
Scotland do have to put in a bit of work to actually put the ball away, because the Germans are bowling a little bit slower than they might be used to from their own squad. So when they're hitting it, they're having to hit it quite hard to really reach the boundary.
Exact same shot by Catherine Bryce. She moves on to 45. Now Becky Glenn on 49 here. Scotland move on to 115 for 1 in the 13th over. There's Becky Glenn on your screen. Fuller delivery. And it's a no balls, the signal there. And the umpire, that was a very high delivery. And from there, just struggling to find her line and length here. And there was bat. And that's the half century up for Becky Glenn. A huge round of applause by our Scotland teammates. From the tent, a wonderful knock so far by the 25-year-old here in La Manga. Scotland are looking to post a big total here and get the net run rate required to secure the top of the tournament. A wonderful knock so far by Becky Glenn.
Yeah, Becky's definitely looked like one of the most informed batters in this tournament so far. I think she was very unlucky to get out early against the Dutch on Thursday, but in the other games she's looked very solid, played some aggressive shots and got a few big boundaries, so she's looked very good.
Hit really hard there by Catherine Bryce, and I think that's going to find the boundary here in Cow Corner. Again, it just slows up, and it's not. It's unbelievable here at La Manga. There was a big chase there by 4 of the German fielders.
And Stu in his kilt.
Yes, we do have one of the...
He's
Scotland
pacing a lot
players.
today, isn't he?
He is, and there's no big gusts of wind as well.
Well, thankful. Thankful of that.
Well, a half century for Becky Glenn, and Catherine Bryce, pardon me, is on 48 here. 120 for 1 Scotland are after 13 overs. A wonderful knock. She's played that sweep shot magnificently. Let's just take a look at her stats here. There they are. Just getting a little cool down, and 39 deliveries faced, 4 fours, 2 sixes, and 50 runs for Becky Glenn. So we're just gonna wave goodbye now to Esther DeLonga. Thank you for joining us in the commentary box. This is Kieran and myself here to guide you through the rest of this innings here. 120 for 1. Scotland's playing very, very well right now.
They are in, and they're also just... They're pushing their singles well, running between the wickets and trying to take advantage of every opportunity. It's all in their hands here, that they can definitely post a really big total in this last 7 overs. And as you mentioned, the pitch, like, they should be up at 140, 150 even at this stage. The ball has stopped 10 times at least before the boundary, and that's frustrating, but it is what it is, and it's the same for all teams. So they have to get their head around that and really use all those gym sessions they've done, put that ball over the boundary. Again, Germany have bowled well in spells. There's glimpses of what they can do here. Just putting it all together will be their task in time.
This is Christina Goff, the captain here for Germany, bowling her first over. She's performed with the ball in the tournament. I think Germany, we've talked about these little wins. So side hit high in the air. Almost taken on the boundary. Diving effort there by Stephanie Fronmare. She had eyes on the ball all the way as she swept round the boundary edge. It would have been an incredible catch. And unfortunately, just landed short and rolled away for another 4 here. Becky Glenn, 54 here. Just see how...
I know that white ball and the sky here today, it's very going to be hard coming down, but again, another chance. They are creating the chances.
They're creating here.
Yeah.
And like I said, the more extravagant shots that Scottish batters go for here, the more chances created for Germany. Hit high in the air, and this could be caught behind the stumps by Vijay Ragahavan, and it just falls short again. Another half chance here for Germany. 55 now for Becky Glenn, 126 for Scotland. Christina Goff with 2 opportunities so far created. She's going for these big pull shots, was Becky Glenn, and that one was a top edge, and it was almost caught behind the stumps.
I think girls might be getting a slightly bit tired there at the middle, which is understandable. They've probably covered 60 miles at this stage.
And this soaring heat as well.
No, it's all part of the game, and they've really got to fight through it, maybe find a second wind and keep going.
Shot into the covers there. Deep extra cover collected. And that's the 50 up for Catherine Bryce. Another rousing reception as she raises her bat there to her teammates over at the tent. It's been a wonderful knock by the Scotland captain here. And what a shot to do it with. It's been a classy innings so far by Catherine Bryce. 50 off 41 deliveries as Scotland move on to 127 for 1. At the end of 14 overs, a wonderful knock so far by the captain of Scotland, Catherine Bryce.
I think both batters have done really well, and we just mentioned standards again earlier on. They've come out, they lost an early wicket, but they've taken on the job and they're working really hard for their team.
A wonderful shot, just played up, lofted, kind of clipped drive there, and they're going to run back for 2. And they have ran really well between the wickets as well. They've always looked for the 2. They know how important this run rate's going to be throughout. Sitting up at 9 right now. As this is Stephanie Frommeyer bowling again from the near end. Here in La Manga. And a wide delivery there as Scotland move on to 130 for 1 now.
I'd really like to see Germany later on in the second innings not be out. We haven't had an early end to a game so far this week, and I think you learn the most out of it if you can go the full 20. Let's hit over just towards Cow Corner, just short of the inner circle. It's good fielding off the ropes.
Shorter delivery, pushed hard, straight hit here. Hannah Healy doing the collecting duties, and just another well run 2 there. And that's being met with really nice round of applause again from the Scotland tent.
Yeah, the Scottish team have clearly now here pushing it out. Just going to go for this here. Just the German team need to be quick off the ropes, stay low, and really let go of that ball early.
Hit hard, and that's heading straight towards the commentary position here, and it's gonna stop here, and it's amazing that it just lands, and it's almost like a golf ball landing on the green there. It just falls dead and it just stops, no rolling
It just
movement.
plugs.
Yeah, it's amazing. Call that one a hole-in-one. You just think, well, actually at a slope here as well, it's slightly angled towards us, and you think it could have rolled down. Pushed hard again, straight hit. Christina Goff doing the fielding here, and it's just a misfield actually, and makes it easy just to run in the single. Another one onto the board here for Scotland. Like you said, they are keen to push on here, and there's just another signal for water. Just showing how hot it is out there. Driven hard. And that's the end of the over there. I think we are going to see water being ran on again. Well, Scotland pushing on here for a big total against Germany. They're going to need it. Let's take another look at this points table. Those of you tuning in, good morning and welcome to coverage of the ICC Women's Qualifier Europe 2019. This is how the points table stands on the final day here. Netherlands on top, just on net run rate. That column on the right is going to prove pivotal, and all eyes are going to be on that column. Both teams secure a win over Germany. 2.3, and how's this innings going to affect it? Netherlands managed to secure 196 runs in their innings against Germany. Yes, 2 days ago, pardon me. Scotland on the right track here.
Yeah, definitely. They're giving themselves every chance with 5 overs to come. The field is spread. And just as we've said throughout this innings, the ball's not gone over the boundary. So they have to run everything.
Big shot there, and I think it's going to clear the boundary for 6. A massive shot there.
That'll certainly help. You can go aerial over the boundary. Just when it goes along the ground, it just slows up.
Absolutely. Catherine Bryce with a huge pull shot for 6 there, right over the head of Biavaish, a deep square leg. Nothing she could do about that. It's a wonderfully constructed shot there by Catherine Bryce. Both the batters on 59 now. She goes big again. Cow corner this time, and consecutive sixes here for Catherine Bryce. Christina Goff, I think, just bowling a shorter line there, and a confident strike for cow corner. What a wonderful shot by Catherine Bryce.
Fantastic shot. She clears the front foot and really just plays through the line. It was actually a fantastic shot. It was much better than the first one. It's also buying herself some time, not having to run. She can get her breath back and go again.
Oh, straight hit, could be out, and that's the end of Catherine Bryce. Consecutive sixes, and she departs for 65, straight down the throat of mid-off, and you saw she wanted that lofted straight drive for 6, but that spells the end for the Scotland captain here. She had to go big. They did have batters in hand here in La Manga, but a wonderful knock by Catherine Bryce. She's walking away 65 of 45 deliveries here. A wonderful knock.
A wonderful captain's knock, and she's really, you know, she'll go back into the tent and she'll be like, guys, that's exactly what we have to do. She'll fill them full of confidence. And Stu has stopped pacing a little, just to clap.
Wow.
Also, I think from Germany's point of view, they've had chances, and it's great to see them actually hold one. And they've huddled together and they're ready to go again. Again, they've put down chances. You know, it hasn't been perfect, but they're still so eager. It's fantastic.
Still waiting to see who the new batter is here. And it's going to be Ruth Willis. This is a tactical decision here. I have confidence in her hitting ability here. They're going to have to go for the boundary here and push on to a score of 200, I would say, for that run rate. That net run rate, that's going to prove pivotal at the end of this tournament. If both sides secure the victory over Germany, that is the must at first. They must secure the win. I will say that. Credit to Germany here. They've grabbed the second wicket here, and it's the Scotland captain, Catherine Bryce. Well, Ruth Willis, the new batter at the crease here for Scotland, facing Christina Goff. Got away in that. Might run away to the boundary. Fine, it's not. Going to again, it slows down, and Ironborg does the collecting duties here. Well, 2 off the mark straight away. Ruth Willis, she just does a stretch there.
Yeah, Ruth Willis has fresh legs here. She's going to have to do a lot of the work. As you can see, she was running back to the danger end, so really took off. Allowing Becky just to relax a little.
Off the pad and half a peel, you know, that pad sound, and it rings around, and it was actually always the that was pardon me, that was Janet Ronalds down at Deep Point. That was the one that shouted us out there. I think overly ambitious probably. On a wide delivery there. Well, I think that's the 150 up for Scotland. That is the 150 up. So they're going to seek to march towards 200 here. Performed very well. And Ruth Willis again just trying to turn that one around and not getting any bad on that. 150 for 2 here at the end of the 16th over. Well, Christina Goff managed to grab the wicket of Scotland captain Catherine Bryce there. Becky Glenn on 59 here. How did Germany approach this, Kira?
They just make sure their field placements are correct. They just stick to one line, which hasn't been the case up front. But they can try pull it back a little here for the remaining overs. They're learning as they go. The fields have got better. How they've approached the ball. Again, they've got 2 games today, so they need to really figure out how to go about that, because that's a skill in itself, trying to switch on and off.
Catherine Bryce is sitting at the top of the table now for most runs scored for Scotland in women's T20 international cricket. She's got 232 runs to her name and a high score of 65, and she moves above Sarah Bryce, her sister, as that ball just falls short of deep square leg. Yeah, Sarah Bryce just below her on 221 runs. Well, the Bryces at the top of the table here for most runs scored in women's T20 international cricket for Scotland. What I say, that was also the highest score by a Scottish batter in women's T20 international cricket, 65. Previous best was held by Catherine Bryce as well, 51, but Becky Glenn is now on 60, so she could claim the top spot as well for Scotland. And that looks like it's a wicket hit onto the stumps there by Ruth Willis, and that spells the end. A third wicket here.
She just moved back to give herself room and cut the ball onto her stumps. I have to say, she didn't look overly comfortable when she came in. I'm just interested to see how they put this batting order together.
Well, it looks like it's going to be Priyanaz Chatterjee here. Yeah, it is. 25-year-old, she has performed with the bat as part of that near win run chase against the Netherlands. They just lost out by 8 runs, and it was a fantastic effort by the bat, by Chatterjee. So she's going to join Becky Glenn here, and well, Anna Healy picks up a wicket as well, and once she found that line, she manages to grab a wicket.
I know from viewers maybe looking in, they're looking at the score and going, it's pretty healthy, should be enough to win, but it's also going down to net run rate in the whole competition. There's a lot at stake for Holland and Scotland here, so these last 3.5 overs are actually really big for Scotland. They've done all the work now, they really need to push it over. I think at this stage there has to be a single there. And Becky really has to take control of this now. She's been in, she's faced 47 balls, she's totally in and really needs to push on.
Large shot there. It's going to fall short of the boundary again. It does that. Stop there as Stephanie Frommare does the fielding duties. Well, she went for the big shot, and a confident strike there on the second ball faced by Chatterjee. Went very high in the air. Didn't have the legs to go to the boundary. Tries to put one through the covers there and just falls to the Wadham pole.
It's interesting, a few wickets have slowed Scotland down a little bit in their tracks. 3 overs to go, Ian.
They're going to have to push on. They looked ever so comfortable when Bryce and Glenn were at the wicket there, but it has slowed down with the inclusion of Ruth Willis, and I think the message in the middle will be very simple there from Glenn and Chatterjee. Let's push on here and let's get a big score. Let's aim for 190.
Give it welly.
Give it welly. Party time.
How do you say that in a Scottish accent?
I'm not even going to attempt. I would
Give it
insult
welly.
everyone back home.
Yeah, well,
You just
sorry.
did.
Yeah, I apologise.
And it's another wicket here. And that's the end of Becky Glenn. 4 wickets here. Now down are Scotland. And Becky Glenn is departing on 60. It's been a wonderful knock. Germany have really seized control of this game in the last 3 overs here. They picked up 3 wickets so far. Well, 4 wickets so far. 3 in the last couple of overs. As you see Becky Glenn depart there. 60 off 48 deliveries. A wonderful knock by the number 3 batter for Scotland. And that spells the end. She's getting a really warm reception from everyone at the ground. It's been a wonderful knock by Becky Glenn. She's now holding the 2nd highest individual score in women's T20 international cricket for Scotland. And that partnership between Bryce and Glenn has really set up Scotland here for a big total. As Rachel Scholes is the new batter at the crease for Scotland, joining Chatterjee. Well, it's all changed here for Scotland. 153 for 4 in the 18th over. They've got 3 overs here to really push on and get that scored at that 190 mark. You would have to think here, if they're to...
Ian, it's absolutely vital to get there. I think, again, going back to people looking in, might think, okay, there's enough runs on the board, but this is coming down to a net run rate.
Just clipped. Big appeal there for leg before wicket. It looked like it just struck the bottom of the toe there.
So, I'm not taking away from the 2 girls' knocks. They've batted really well and they've put their team into such a good position, but these actually could be the crucial overs here where we need to see big shots from Rachel Scholes and just go for it. This is what you've trained for.
Yeah, this is this power hitting in the nets. Dot balls here. It's going to be a delight for Germany, and more importantly, it's going to be a delight. It's going to be a delight for the Netherlands team. There's a few of them on the sidelines, and I'm sure a few of them will be watching back in the apartment complex. Big shot. It could be caught again. And it is. It's a 3rd wicket here for Christina Goff. Again, caught at mid-off. Another wicket departs for Scotland. 153 for 5 now. Quick wickets in succession here in La Manga. And Germany, all celebrations here. They pick up their 5th wicket and a 3rd wicket here for captain Christina Goff. And all in very similar fashion. Mistimed shots, looking to go over the head of mid-off and caught right down the throat.
I totally agree. But I'm handing it to Germany here at the moment. They're absolutely delighted with 153 on the board and picking up wickets. They're holding catches there at mid-off, and it's really nice to see. They're taking something out of this competition. Still a lot to play here for Scotland. Get your head around it and get into the game really quick.
Well, they have that little huddle there and they raise their hands. I don't know what they're counting down and saying at the end of it, but it's wonderful team spirit, and they've got a big buzz of energy right now, and suddenly they're sprinting around, ready to get into their fielding positions. It was difficult with that partnership of Bryce and Glenn for them in most of this game after striking Sarah Bryce early, but it's only 5 wickets down and 2 and a bit overs to go, and Lorna Jack's the new batter at the crease for Scotland. Chatterjee and Jack, they're going to need a push on here. Like you said, you can score a lot of runs in a small amount of overs, but Christina Goff, 3 wickets. And again, just a kind of lofted drive there, and if mid-off was shorter...
Yeah, it's just her coming around, left arm coming around, just challenging them there. And Germany have got their fielding position right on that occasion, 3 occasions in fact.
Tries to go big, and it's just going to run fine. Emma Bogner with the pickup, and just a single there.
Scotland have got to be ready to challenge these fielders, try make them make mistakes, take the singles on in the circle. They're clearly in the lead here, but they're actually, they're I don't know what I'm trying to say. They're just, don't be afraid, just go for it at this stage. You've done all the hard work. Don't leave anything behind.
Yeah, I think it's important to stress as well, deliberately not giving Germany a chance in this run chase. They are new to women's international cricket, and they've had a couple low-scoring affairs. They were all out, 37 for 8 in their first game against Scotland. They got 65 as well, so an improvement. It's a big mountain to climb to try and get 150 plus for them.
They've improved here today. They've got 5 wickets. It's going up and up the amount of wickets they're taking.
Absolutely.
And just, for a team to be so excited when they're 154, it's a big score, but they continue to go at it, and they're trying to get more and more out of it. And again, that word we use little wins.
Tries to go big again. They're going to run a single here, and
they've definitely got better over the week, Germany.
No, 100%.
Absolutely.
And I think, what you're saying there about, even in this situation, they've got this buzz of enthusiasm around them, and they're trying to keep going until the final 20 overs and grab wickets right till the end. It just shows the kind of attitude and ethos of this side.
Yep.
And it's wonderful to see, and I hope the viewers at home are really getting that. They've been here and playing their first ever T20 internationals, and they've been such wonderful team to be around. Tries to go big, straight into hands, and that's a sift wicket here for Germany. Straight into the hands of extra cover. Lorna Jack now departs.
That's a great catch. That was hit hard. Just held her composure. It's fantastic. I just think, yeah, this is a quirky one.
A little batting collapse here. It's difficult to say a batting collapse when you're 156 runs on the board, but
it's just what this game actually holds. It's not. They've enough runs to win the game.
But do they have enough runs in this fight with Netherlands
yes,
at the
that's
top of the
thing.
table?
Yeah.
They're going to have to, with a score like this, they're going to have to try and bowl out Germany for a very low total in a very short amount of overs. With the importance of the net run rate at the end of this tournament. It's the ICC Women's Qualifier Euro 2019. This is Scotland versus Germany. The second last game here. Germany won the toss, elected to field first. A big partnership by Scotland captain Catherine Bryce and number 3 batter Becky Glenn. 65 and 60 runs for the two batters, and suddenly 5 wickets here in quick succession. Anna Healy picks up her second. Great stuff here by Germany. Push forward off the pad. Vijay Ragahaven, a half-hearted appeal behind the stumps, and they do manage to sneak a single in there. It's going to be leg byes.
There's actually, it's better running. Challenge the fielders. We did speak about it about 4 or 5 overs where you could see Scotland just slowed down a little bit. They were just getting a little bit tired, the two batters that were in there. They weren't challenging the inner field. And that could be a little turning point there.
Katie McGill is the new batter in, and she's very quick with her feet there, and knew, even though the ball just fell short of Chatterjee, they wanted to grab a single again, met with a warm response by the Scotland tent to our left. They're going to be applauding every single run here, because every single run matters.
Yeah, Katie McGill's a fighter. You can see it from her with the bat and ball, and she will do the best for her team here.
Tries to go big there, Chatterjee, and just falls behind. Well kept in the hands by Vijay Ragahaven behind the stumps. Another dot ball there to Anna Healy.
Stu is sitting down. Nerves are out.
Very different atmosphere around the ground now. Goes big, driven hard along the ground by Katie McGill.
And again, just pushing that out to, if anyone's watching, it is 158, 59 for 6. That one over to go, but it's coming down to net run rate in this competition. So there's a lot to play for. And the second game is going to be all hands on deck. It's going to be great to watch, Ian.
Yeah, it's going to be really exciting stuff. Be sure to tune into that. It's going to be 3:30 our time. That's, if you're watching in the UK right now, it'll be 2:30. And yeah, it's going to be very exciting. Netherlands are going to be taking on Scotland, and they're going to be trying to secure top position in the table, secure a position for the global qualifier for the Women's World Cup. They've already secured a position at the T20 qualifier in Scotland, as they've secured the wins required. But
they're also going to take on a team, Germany, and no disrespect to them, but are going to be tired after this game. And just, lack of experience and stuff. So, Holland can nearly capitalise on that. So it's all going to come down to those sort of things.
Well, cries have come on Scotland.
Stu's back up.
Stu's back up in his kill. I believe that's Karis Scott's father. Big shot there by Chatterjee, but it does land at cow corner. They're going to run 2 here. Really good running. Direct hit, and that's another wicket there. Really good fielding by Christina Goff. A little underarm throw there, and it manages to claim another wicket here for Germany.
They had to go there. There shouldn't have been a confusion.
She chucks her bat. Katie McGill slams her bat on the ground. She ran off and chucks it over the boundary there. Annoyance. Well, they had to go for the 2 there. You're right. They had to in this situation in the final over. They do have wickets in hand.
I think Scotland need to get into their tent when this over's up readjust and figure out what they need to do in the next innings and forget about this innings.
Well, a big cheer there from the German team. They had an almost different chant there, and they've managed to grab 7 wickets against Scotland. What an achievement that is. And we have chatted about these little wins here for the German side, also known as the Golden Eagles. As Cara Scott is the new batter at the crease here. And her debut in this tournament. Really nice shot there by Chatterjee. I think that's going to go to the boundary. It was a late cut, and it's not. It's just slowed down, and it doesn't. I think that was 5 centimetres away that time from touching the rope. That is painful stuff here for Scotland. And again, a wonderful shot that probably deserved the boundary. They move on 160. I'm just going to wait for the scoreboard to move there.
There's so many shots this week, Ian, that have deserved 4. The score should have been a lot bigger.
It's 164 for 7 now in the final over here. Christina Goff with 3 wickets and a wonderful run out there. Manages to just do an underarm throw in time, direct here, and Katie McGill had to depart at the second delivery of this over. Cara Scott gets off the mark, just hits the toe of the bat, and that's her first runs in T20 international cricket. They're going to run back for 2. And really good running there. Met with a warm reception again from the Scotland team in the 10. 166 now for 7. Can they push on to 170 here in the final over? Don't mind the scoreboard at the bottom there. It's just doing a little update. The score system is just updating itself, just catching up here. Just going to hide that for now. 166 for 7 here. Kidding. Wonderful shot there by Cara Scott. They're going to run back 2. They've got to turn back and go. But they're only going to run the 1 here.
Oh, God, no. You've got to turn back and go. She'd ran the first one so quick, and she's running to the danger end. Back yourself.
167 for 7 now. Here's Christina Goff. Hit high in the air. It's going to fall short. Got to run back for 2. Big run here. Could be a run out. And it's given out. And that's a run out here. That spells the end of Cara Scott. And the German flag is being flown high by the supporters there on the sideline here. And that's the end of the innings. It's going to be 168 for 7. At the end of 20 overs here by Scotland.
I think that's for 18.
For 8, pardon me.
Yeah, that's okay.
Just waiting for the update on the score, but 168 for 8 after 20 overs. Kira, talk us through the end of that.
Scotland got themselves into a really good position. Just they lost a wicket early, and Becky and Catherine really kicked on with the bat. And just losing wickets just at maybe vital areas, and just the guys who were coming in just didn't kick on. I'm not sure of the actual maths behind it, but this is a big job, and Scotland must come out and get wickets early. It's the only way. They have to.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we saw a wonderful partnership, like you said, between Catherine Bryce and Becky Glenn. We're just going to wait for our scoring system just to update with 1 ball to catch up there. And we're going to talk you through this innings, but like you said, after Catherine Bryce departed, it was quick wickets for Germany, and they've played very well in the latter stages of this innings. They've managed to secure 8 wickets against Scotland in their second last game and their double header here. And we talk about little wins, and what a fantastic final couple of overs there for Germany.
Absolutely, and teams hitting you around, and you're trying to learn as you go, and you just still stay in it and just try everything that you've spoke about pre-game, and they picked up 8 wickets, so there's they've done better again.
Now here's the batting cards. 22 extras given by the German bowlers, so it was very generous by them. But you see the early wicket there of Sarah Bryce, Catherine Bryce and Becky Glenn, 65 and 60. 65 is actually the highest score by a Scotland's batter in T20 international cricket. So that's confirmation, 168 for 8 from 20 overs. And if you just see there, suddenly 2 for Ruth Willis. Chatterjee, the remaining batter at the end on 9, but a duck for Rachel Scholes and Lorna Jack. Katie McGill only managing 2.
Well, Ian, just on that, if you take away the 22 off that score, you know, have Scotland scored enough? There's too many single fingers there on the scorecard.
Absolutely, and we're just going to take a look at the bowling card here. And 3 wickets there for Christina Goff, going for 32 wickets. But I think more importantly, if you just look at the fall of the wickets here, 7, then that wonderful 140-run partnership by Bryce and Glenn. But suddenly, 151, 153, and then 168 at the end there. Brilliant stuff by Germany just to restrict them. And we were saying they needed to push on for 200 at one point, and overly ambitious after the Catherine Bryce departed, but a wonderful effort there by Germany in the field, but also a wonderful knock by Scotland captain Catherine Bryce and Becky Glenn. 65 runs to Bryce and 60 to Glenn. So we're going to take a quick break here at the innings break. We're going to be back in 10 minutes as Germany are going to require 169 runs to take the victory here. But more importantly, in terms of the tournament, Scotland are going to need to bowl Germany out for a very low score or concede very little runs in terms of net run rate, as Netherlands will be all smiles right now, I think, as they'll be watching this game ahead of their game against Germany in the afternoon. But we're going to take a quick 10-minute break here. Scotland 168 for 8 after 20 overs. Well, welcome back to coverage of this ICC Women's Qualifier Europe 2019. It's the innings break right now. Scotland versus Germany in a must-win game for Scotland. As Flower of Scotland's being wrung out by the Scotland supporters here. And the rest of the players are coming out. Well, Scotland just batted through 20 overs and 168 for 8 if you're tuning in right now. Brilliant partnership between Catherine Bryce and Becky Glenn. But now it's all coming into net run rate. Emotions are high right now. And they know how much is at stake here. An opportunity. They've already qualified because of their hosts for the T20 qualifier in Scotland later this year. But this is an opportunity to go to the World Cup, the Cricket World Cup, the Women's Cricket World Cup. 50 over global qualifier in 2021. So a lot on the line here for Scotland. They have got, what have they got to do here?
They've got to set attacking fields, bowl good lines, and just force wickets early. Be up and about as much as they can. Put the first innings, I suppose, and just their thoughts on that into the back of their head and really get into the moment here.
We're going to see Catherine Bryce opening the bowling here. She performed very well yesterday. Picked up 2 wickets in 2 balls, and crucially it was Ster Callis and Denise van Deventer as well. She produced a moment of magic yesterday and really put Scotland in a fantastic position to kind of keep that run trace low against the Netherlands. And so they're going to need to produce something special today. They need to get Germany out, and they need to get them out fast.
Yeah.
Really concede as few runs as possible. If Scotland is to keep that net run rate within something today.
The wind has picked up a little bit again. I can tell by Stu's kilt blowing in the wind.
Yeah, game on. Double to bring in there. Really nice line there by Catherine Bryce, and they're going to want them all day long, our Scotland.
These 2 opening batters for Germany are pretty defensive, just in nature and I suppose the way they're going about their game at the moment as they're learning. So
It's Janet Ronalds and Stephanie from there. For Germany.
I'm actually thinking that we might see a spinner early on in the bowling innings.
Well, it's a boundary already for Germany. There's a fine edge there. Played the late cut shot and it just came off the toe of the bat, and she raises her bat there to the crowd as she hits the boundary. That's really nice to see actually there from Janet Ronalds. She raised her bat after scoring a 4 there. Brilliant.
Her first 4 for international cricket.
Wonderful. Much better there. Big encouragement here from the Scotland team. They're going to need a big atmosphere, big energy in the field, big presence. Massive game here in the ICC Women's Qualifier 2019. A lot at stake. Opportunity to go to the global qualifier. Plays the cut shot again. And Kara Scott is doing the fielding. Judy's there. Just standing at backward point, I think, after them 2 shots. Maybe bring them round and maybe have a 3rd man. I don't know. A fly keeps attacking my face here.
I noticed it's just they're trying to go attacking. I think they've got a good coach, Noxie, and he will have spoke them through a lot of different scenarios, and just using the experience the Scottish team have. They've been around. I've played against a good few of these, and they've been to lots of tournaments, different scenarios, win-loss, and they've really got to call on all that experience in and just get their head into this moment here, because they can only control this at the moment.
Well, 6 off the first over there, and it's a good start by Germany. A lot quicker than we saw the first game they played. I mean, they were 37 for 8 after their 20 overs, so I just found the boundary rope straight away here, and Catherine Price conceding 6 off the first over here. Now, high pressure situation, and we're going to see Priyanaz Chatterjee bowling. She's picked up 4 wickets in the tournament so far, and how she would like to pick up a few more today.
Say the Dutch are now getting their stuff together to make their way down here. They will have had a morning off. They'll be fresh, and again, this German team, it'll be their second game later on, so I suppose what their game plans are and how they're going to go about it, they'll have fresh head, and they'll be playing against a team that's one game in, so this is going to be a really interesting end to the day. Let's see what the Scots can do here.
Almost placed the bat forward there, and it looked like it fell into the hands of Sarah Bryce. It's a really encouraging start here by Chatterjee.
I'd like to see the keeper actually standing up on this occasion. She'll clearly take that in her hands there and maybe force on a wicket, get
Got Rachel
stumping.
Scholes first slip as well.
I think it could be a little bit more attacking here. That's just my thoughts.
Just pushes that forward. Could be a run-out opportunity here. Direct hit could be out. Possible out opportunity there was half an appeal.
One thing Germany needs to remember is to slide their bat in. We've actually seen that on a few occasions. They get the running part right, but just actually sliding your bat, it's an extension of your arm when you're running, and can really, you can help you get in. Again, no disrespect to Germany. If Germany are taking singles up front here, they've got a clear thing what they want to get out of their innings, but Scotland need to get a little bit more attacking to get these wickets.
I think they really need to strike early if they're in with a chance here. They've got to build that momentum. We've seen Scotland seize the momentum a couple of times, most importantly yesterday in that incredible game of cricket we saw versus the Netherlands. As Kira shows me her tattoo, which says, what does it say? Carpe diem?
Ian, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Seize the day. A little message from Kira. They're running here hard. You see, this is what they've got to go for, these run-outs. That was Catherine Fraser. Her international T20 debut today. 14-year-old. Wonderful to see. There's also Kerry Scott on the field as well, 17 years old.
I'd like to see Rachel Scholes on early and Masood. Just really tossing the ball up, bringing the fielders into play, and make the batters think about it.
So they're
This is too just up and down. It's too easy, you know.
regimental. Push forward and almost finds the edge there, and that's really good bowling there by Chatterjee. Nice end to the over. Good bit of movement. 8 for none. 2 off the over here.
See, it's good getting that movement, but then, yeah, they've just got to have people in front of the bat. God, yeah, I can't say it enough. I think they need to go more attacking. I'll leave that there, Ian, so I'm not going on like a parrot. Stu is out, clapping the hands, kicking the feet.
In the kill. And the Scotland jersey, a bit of tartan armour here.
Look at the bug.
Oh, a wonderful insect on top of our production.
It's actually making its
Screen.
way here.
Oh,
If that jumps our way, I will be jumping backwards fairly lively. No.
that's our director is actually pushing it towards our direction as Catherine Bryce comes in there and dot ball to start the over. It's an interesting looking thing. What do you call it? It's not a zoo for insects. What is it?
Oh, jeez, don't ask me.
Does anyone know?
Really nice shot to the covers there, picking up an easy single. Again, the intent that the German side have come out, it's very nice. They're obviously seeing little gaps, seeing the fielders maybe sitting back, and decided they're going to come out here and push their runs up.
Yeah, it looks like a mantis. Well, next, we're sorry to talk about bug watch right now as we're 9 for none here. Fuller delivery there by Catherine Bryce, and Straight into the hands of Katie McGill. Just a dot ball there. It's really good stuff by the Scotland captain. She'll be full of confidence as well. Bowled that super over, conceded 7, and then hit the winning runs as well. Busy day yesterday for Catherine Bryce. Not yesterday, pardon me, 2 days ago. Managed to secure player of the match as well. They're running hard, in hard is the call there for Lorna Jack, and they've got to do lots of backing up here.
And they hit the umpire. That's it, they're in trouble now.
That was Rachel Scholes there. Wow, big words of encouragement here by Lorna Jack. Tense stuff here in La Manga.
Well adjusted by the batter. Can Germany have grown into this competition? So we really need to see spinners come on here. One little cameo spell, 1 over. You know, go through all their bowlers, really mix it up as much as they can.
And again, just looks like it found the edge then. It's going to run away. Has it found the boundary? Just slows up. Kerry Scott does the fielding there. And that's the end of the over. And again, just a couple runs off it. It looks like you're saying, Germany with the approach they've gone for the start of the game, they've set their own targets here. We were looking to achieve their own little objectives. Bat out the 20 overs, probably.
Oh, completely.
And have individual innings, I would say.
Really try push on and get a few more scores on the board. They've come out and they're looking good. I think the style of bowling that they're being presented with at the moment is not challenging them. But I think it's Masood has been told to warm up, so there could be a change at the other end.
Hard in, could be out. A direct hit would have been out there. Katie McGill were a wonderful throw in. A lot of hands on heads. Big gasp for the Scotland players there. Really good bit of fielding from Katie McGill. Picked up fast and straight in. Almost direct hit the stumps, and that could have been the first wicket.
That's it. Scotland should feed off that now. Really get up and about. That was great fielding. The wicketkeeper actually left it there because she thought it was going to be a direct hit. Good. She set the tone there with her fielding now. They're not going to take the single to her. And she's nearly brought on 2 run-outs. And you can see the team are responding to her a little.
Shorter delivery there by Chatterjee. It's a wide as the call, as we see. Just to our right, it just shows the gust of wind we have here. The cameraman's, what do you call that, pagoda tent thing has fallen down in the gust of wind.
I hope Tom's okay.
I hope so too. 4-plate Tom. And really good fielding there by Catherine Fraser. Direct hit into the stumps as well. They met with a round of applause. Our cameraman is okay, and Tom survives. The Lasher Windy waves over here. Well, there was a big gust of wind that knocked down that kind of shade cover there. It was good to see it, but I'm actually enjoying the breeze. It's really nice. It's really nice.
I'm liking the energy from the German batters. Just the shot energy is good.
Strike the pad there. Sarah Bryce appeal behind the stumps, and Chaddy was even herself knew what was going down. I was actually having a conversation with the umpire there in the innings break just about the Sarah Bryce wicket. She's just saying, yeah, you could see leg stump, and she came across and it was out. A little bit of hesitation from our end about whether that was looking like it was going down leg, and he was like, no, I saw the stump. She stepped right across and it was out, and saying how crucial a wicket that was for Scotland. Maybe if they had Sarah Bryce in for a little bit longer. And then Becky Glenn comes on, and they could have put on a big score there. They were looking like they were going to get 200, and Scotland disappointed just to be posting a low total there.
Well, Ian, that's also experience, because if you're taken up to another level as well, You know, you kind of recognise this, okay, we're a little bit tired here, communicate with each other, buy yourself a little bit of time, tie your lace, and just go, listen, I'm a bit puffed at the minute, but us two are in, we need to stay here. Even if you have an over where you slow it down, it's much better those batters being there instead of new batters coming in and not being able to, you know, keep that run rate going. So, again, that's something I suppose Scotland can work on going forward. No team ever plays a perfect game, and there's always things you can learn from.
Well, 3 off the over there. Priyana's Chatterjee on just going for the 5 runs from her first 2 overs. Now I'm going to see if they have a bowling change here, and it looks like Maksud is grabbing the ball, and your wish has come true here. We are going to see a bit of spin early on here in the 5th over. Good decision.
I totally agree, and if they should have actually opened with them, in my opinion, and get Rachel Scholes on. Just get Scholesy to stay on that front foot and give it a little bit more flight, because she tends to dart it in a little bit. Just today, flight is going to be needed. And just fielders around the batter. Get your field set correctly.
Just having discussion about field settings here. And
Like, yeah. Just need to go for it. I actually love these situations. Personally, I'd love to bowl now.
oh, you always fluctuate. I always ask you whether you miss playing, and you're always stern with the no.
I don't miss playing, but I'm just saying, if I was playing these situations, I really, really love.
Ah. Really good change out, and it's a wicket. What a decision by Catherine Bryce to put on Maksud. She grabs the wicket on the first ball there. LBW, wonderful delivery, just caught the batsman off guard. And the batter departs there.
Totally, she gave that extra flight, a little bit of dip just in front of the batter, didn't get a hold of it, went down for a sweep shot. And that's the breakthrough they need, and you can see Scotland are feeding off that.
Well, Janet Ronalds departs. And, well, your wish came true, and it was a wicket, and it was almost soothsayer-like here in the commentary box. The end, that spells the end, and there was suddenly a big burst of energy there by Scotland. They've grabbed their first wicket, and they're going to need more.
I think the batter at the other end now has been in for 8 balls. 3 runs up. I suppose a new batter, you got to target them. Got to let them know you're there. Keep that flight and dip going.
Well, Abtaha Maksud, a wicket on her first ball here. They'll be keen to strike again. As Carterika Vijay Rangahaven is the new batter at the crease here. And there's Maksud on your screen right now. Just forces the batter onto the back foot there. Vijay Rangahaven not looking comfortable on that first delivery.
No, and you've got to look at the batter and how they move, their moving patterns, and just you can see.
Oh, and it looks like it could be out, and it's 2. It's 2 for Maksud. The second in the over, and that spells the end of Vijay Rangahaven just from 2 deliveries there.
Just going to the moving patterns, that girl clearly was going to be an LBW candidate because of how she comes back and opens up her, her stance. As a spinner, you've got to quickly jump on these things and really see how the batter plays, and then set your field accordingly.
Well, Abtaha Maksud, 3 deliveries, 2 wickets here. They went to bring the spinner on after opening with Catherine Bryce and Priyanaz Chatterjee, and suddenly the spinner down the scoreboard end has grabbed the 2 wickets that Scotland were hoping for so far. A lot at stake here in the ICC Women's Qualifier, and 2 wickets straight away here for Abtaha Maksud. Can she strike again? That is the question. Seeing the new batter come in here for Germany. Just going to await a name here. Just need to see that number on the back of her jersey from our commentary position here. Scotland going to be looking to seize the momentum here.
You've also got a German side that are going to try to take something out of this game and are going to want to bat the 20. So they might go into their shell a little bit here, and you've got to get your head around that. And they're going to play very defensive cricket, but you've got to try bring on the wickets at the same time.
Well, this is Anna Healy, 24-year-old right-handed batter in for Germany. Up to her, Maxu, 2 wickets from her first over here, and only 3 deliveries gone. What can she do next? It just glances past the bat there, Healy. 2 to come in the overs, the signal by the umpire. What an over Maxud's having here, and what a decision to put her on by Catherine Bryce.
Totally, and again, if you look at the batter, just squares up a little. Just might even, for the last ball here, come around. Really see if you can bring on that LBW.
Well, plenty of support coming in here by her Scotland teammates. Fantastic over here, and a lot at stake. They need to bowl Germany out for a low score and do it within a short number of overs for this net run rate calculation that's going to prove pivotal. If Germany secure that win over Germany in the after, if Netherlands secure that victory over Germany, as I mix up my words here. 1 delivery to come. And wow, what an over that is. A double wicket made in here for Abtaha Maksud. Catherine Bryce brought her on. She's picked up 2 wickets, as we're going to have a guest in the commentary box once again. And this time we've had Dutch with Esther, and now we have the chair of Cricket Scotland, Tony Bryan, joining us live here in La Manga. How are you doing, Tony?
I'm doing very well, thank you, Ian. Very well indeed. Like us to have a few more wickets, needless to say, but that was an excellent over from Abtaha.
Yeah, a little game-changing spell here. And it looks like we're going to have Rachel Scholes now. Bowl here. Right arm off spin for Scotland, and see what the spin can do on the other side. I think we said earlier the wicket got a lot of dust on it. Had some movement early on, and I think by the afternoon, seeing the likes of Caroline de Lange for the Netherlands could be turning up some tricks here against Germany. She's bringing the field in here.
And she's coming around again, and just she must open her front foot a little bit and just slide it in. That's a good start.
So Tony, how has your visit to Spain been so far?
Been very good indeed, thank you. It's been great to come and see the facilities at La Manga for the first time, post all the work that La Manga themselves have done, but also helped by Cricket Ireland and Cricket Scotland. And I think we've got a great facility for European cricket here.
Absolutely. It's certainly got a lot of European cricket coming up with the European Cricket League next couple of months as well, but the likes of Cricket Scotland and Cricket Ireland will be making the most of this, using this for hot weather training, and when the conditions aren't right in the winter in Scotland, they'll be making the most of it in the sun here in La Manga.
Yeah, we have indeed, though I have to say the last time we came here there was still 1 day of rain. But hey,
that's the luck of the Scots.
That happens.
Absolutely. We're chatting to Esther about how much is at stake here. For all these teams, almost off the bat and into the gloves of Sarah Bryce behind the stumps. Looked like it actually nearly nicked off the stumps as well. Brilliant bowling here by Rachel Scholes. 1 to come. Well, a maiden, Rachel Scholes, and her first over, and if they can't get wickets, they'll take maidens. The fewer runs conceded, the better it is for the net run rate of Scotland. Was Germany, sorry, on 15 for 2 at the end of 6 overs. So, Tony, now we can have a chat. Not many people will know your role as chairman. What does that involve? What does that entail?
Well, we have a board which obviously is responsible for the running of Cricket Scotland, and I chair that board, so I'm responsible for the running of the board. But we obviously delegate most of the activities, virtually all the activities indeed, to our chief executive, Malcolm Cannon, and the management team. We have a strong management team with Malcolm and the others underneath, and they do the day-to-day stuff. Our job is our job is strategy and making quite sure the right things are happening in the organisation.
Absolutely, and Scotland has been on the up and up, over the last couple of years, and obviously, the big moments and the big highlights, including that win over England, it's really grabbed the headlines. But out here in La Manga, we're seeing, the Scottish women's sides with the possibility of, qualifying for the global qualifier, for the Cricket World Cup in 2021. But we're also hosting the global qualifier, and it's also on the rise. Big shot here by Germany. That's going to go to cow corner. That's going to be a boundary. Wow.
It's a fantastic shot.
Wonderful shot there. And they find the boundary again.
Yeah, she came towards the ball, moved down the wicket and kept her head still. Just really hit that with power, and she found the boundary, which was good because a lot of people haven't throughout the last few days.
So has it been about setting specific goals and targets over the last couple of years and them being met, Tony?
Yeah, I think it has. I mean, we've got a very clear strategic objective. I'll just stop with the ball's bowled.
Almost big appeal here, leg before wicket, and another wicket for Maksud. She picks up her third. What bowling here from Abdullah Maksud, and it looks like another leg before wicket, and we see the end here. Anna Healy, she's departing for a duck of 6 deliveries faced. 15 for 3 now, and Scotland doing exactly what they need to do. Can see little runs and grab quick wickets here. 7th over, and they're 3 down, our Germany. They had a nice start here and a strong beginning. Played a lot of defensive shots from the bowling of Catherine Bryce and Ianaz Chatterjee, but Abdullah Maksud picking up 3 wickets so far in her second over. Anyway, Tony, this is all the action here. It's good to see Scotland wickets, I'm sure, for you. But yeah, little goals and meeting these objectives.
Yeah, I mean, we've set ourselves the goal of becoming a full member of the ICC in the next few years.
So what does that entail? For
that entails for us trying to get a structure in place throughout the organisation, not just in the playing field, but throughout the organisation, which enable us to take advantage of being a full member as and when it happens. And I do believe it is as and when, it's not an if. So a lot of work being done behind the scenes by Malcolm and the team to put that in place. Clearly, we haven't got the finances yet to be able to gear up that structure enough for being a full member, but hopefully when we become a full member, we will be able to do it from there on in. And it's very helpful being able to see some other associates becoming full members recently, and we can try and learn from what they've experienced through that.
Yeah, the likes of Ireland and Afghanistan and what an impact. Seeing Afghanistan in the World Cup, and we saw that wonderful occasion with Kira. I'm sure you were well aware of Ireland hosting their first Test match as well, and tremendous scenes we saw in Ireland. So just seeing the field change just again, a lot more pressure here. We've only got the one player out of the inner ring.
This is actually the captain who's come in, and left-hander. It's going to change it up a little, but she'll play a lot more cricket shots than I've seen some of the others, and she won't square up as much. So, do you say, okay, let's target the other end? I think the way they've gone now about this with the 2 spinners on is definitely key, and if they can just flight it up and challenge the batter, have their field set correctly, they should get more wickets here. She gets away with that shorter ball.
The one thing that's been pivotal to the development of women's cricket in Scotland has been the participation programme and getting people involved.
Yeah.
And I know the participation team, have been doing a tremendous job in Scotland. Just talk to listeners about that and the work they're doing in Scotland.
Sure, we're happy to do that. Well, we've got a participation team with development officers scattered throughout the country. It's led now by Nick Wilson, who was previously our women and girls participation manager. So, that ensures that we embed the focus on women and girls cricket, which is so important for growth. I'll just stop while Rachel Scholes bowls.
Just prodded forward there, a really nice length there from Rachel Scholes, and again just restricting it to dot balls here, and a cry for come on Scholesy there from Stu in the kilt on the boundary. Wonderful support as well, as always, for Scotland.
Always wonderful support, and one has to say quite noisy support, which is very welcome.
Very Scottish.
We make our impact all over the world with the Tartan Army.
We were saying before the tournament with the success of the Scottish women's national football team and
Yeah.
in the World Cup, and the kind of rides reception they got in Scotland back home. And Scotland women's team could be caught by Maxud just over her head, and it's going to run away to the boundary here, and it doesn't slow up, and it's going to be another 4 and a nice, wonderful cricket shot there. Just a kind of lofted drive over the head, mid-off, and it rolls away for another boundary. In Germany, upping their run rate slightly here, and it's good to see Kira them going for the boundary a bit more.
It's so cute because when they score a 4, they put their bat up to their supporting team or fans.
It's one thing we've been speaking to all our guests about, Tony, has just been this German side and the wonderful presence they've had throughout the tournament, and seeing new teams in the world of European women's cricket.
Yeah, I think it's really good, and you know, I wish we just had more of them, more teams. I think the German team, you can just see even during the week how much they've improved with the experience of playing other sides, better sides possibly, and you know, they are just so much slicker than they were, say, on day one.
I totally agree.
That's right.
Absolutely. So where next for the women's game in Scotland? Obviously, they're getting, we've got there's programs like Cricket and the All Stars program getting the youngsters involved in the game. But this women's national side, where are the key objectives now?
Well, the key objectives are for us ultimately to be able to have a professional women's cricket team in the same way as have an ultimate. We currently have a men's professional team. It will take a bit of time. Obviously, funding is a major issue. We have to continue to obviously help them improve their performances, but we also, equally importantly, have to make sure that the pathway is really robust and we bring through the pipeline a flow of really good young players to bolster our playing squad. So that's a lot of work's being done at that moment, and showing there's a lot of promising players around now, which is great to see.
Just a correction to the scorebar below, it's just having to play catch up right now, and it is currently the score is 24 for 3. 3 wickets lost, with Maxud picking up all 3 wickets for Scotland.
Just there, that's the length and line she needs to bowl. Just really forcing the batter to come forward. We've got a slip and play there. I'd actually like to see her come around a few balls just to mix it up. The batters are nearly settling against her here now. They just want to face her out, and she's got 1 and a bit overs left. They're very valuable. I think they're just setting a field here for that release shot that Germany seem to play once and over.
Just going to see Maxud, final couple in the over here. Plays the ramp shot there and manages to get it. What flair that was!
That's fantastic. I love that. They brought out the slip. Oh no! Do you know what? That's fantastic. They're trying, and it's very effective. Another run for the board.
Absolutely. Love the bit of flair there, and that was met with a nice response from all the German supporters on the boundary edge. So Tony, if we just look ahead to what this tournament is ultimately looking forward to, which is the global qualifier held in Scotland. It's going to be at Arbroath in Forfarshire. An incredibly exciting opportunity for Scottish cricket.
It's a wonderful opportunity for us to raise the profile of women's cricket within Scotland. Sorry.
No, it's all right. There's all this action on the field.
Hesitated there because it looks as if there could be a run-out opportunity, but didn't come to pass. No, it's a wonderful opportunity to raise the profile of cricket in Scotland for women's cricket and girls' cricket, and demonstrate to the sporting world in Scotland that women's sport extends beyond football and rugby to cricket. So we're hoping to make the very best out of that.
Do you think there's an appetite for it, in the country as a whole, and the space for it to grow?
I think very much so. I mean, I think cricket has some huge advantages as a sport for women and girls. It's not a physical contact game, so that there's, some women and girls are put off by the thought of that through football and rugby, for example. It's also a game where it's very skill based, and again that appeals, and I think it appeals to certain communities in Scotland that other sports just simply do not touch, just because of the historical association that cricket has for those communities. So yeah, I think there's huge opportunities, and that's what we've been putting ourselves in a position in the last 3 years to try and exploit.
I think the opportunities around women's cricket as well, it's not even in Scotland, if you're performing and you want to go off and improve your cricket, there's always cricket on somewhere in the world, and it's really great.
And we've already demonstrated that we're developing really good, strong players. There's Kirsty Gordon, who sadly left us to go and play for England last year, but absolutely understand why, and she did it with our full support and encouragement. But it just shows that's the quality of player we're developing. And you look around the Scottish team today, there are some just excellent players, young players particularly, who have a great future in the game.
I was about to ask you about this crop of players, and it really feels like a special team that we're looking at, and one that will really advance the game in Scotland. The mix of old and new, and the experience in it is fantastic.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you say the mix of old. I think the oldest players probably only in their late 20s. That's for cricketing team. That's not old, I'm sure.
Yeah, 27 years old.
I have to say that at my age. But I think this team could be together for a number of years and be very promising.
Massive shot there. Christina Goff goes hard, and it's a 1 bounce 4. And another boundary there for Germany. Confident strike there by the German captain. Yeah, it's for me, it's been wonderful to see. Like I said, you've got the Bryce sisters, and we see Catherine Bryce, now getting a spot in the Kia Super League, and well earned, and her sister Sarah consistently performing as well. And when you have the likes of Catherine Fraser, 14 years old, earning a spot after performing in the regional series, and Coach Dudley Knox giving that opportunities to young players, it's brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely, and Cara Scott today as well just joined the team.
We highlighted a few minutes ago that the captain, Christina Goff, can certainly play cricket. She's got an all-round game. And I just think maybe at the moment they might want to target this end, try keep this girl on strike and try get the wicket this way, just to keep the wickets ticking over. They just don't want to let it slip away. Coming up to the 10th over.
Could be a run-out opportunity here. Direct hit could have been out. Big appeal, and it is. That's another wicket. Really good piece of fielding there. Tony Bryan next to us is clapping his hands in appreciation.
I have no limits on my bias today, I'm happy to say.
And that looks as though it was actually Catherine Fraser who delivered the ball in there. Straight in. She's being met warmly by all her teammates there. Straight into the hands of Sarah Bryce, and the quick hands of the keeper to slash off the bails there. And that spells the end of... That is Stephanie Fron-Mayer there. She's played a couple of wonderful shots and a wonderful stroke play. And that's now 31 for 4. That's the 4th wicket just before the 10th over and the water break here. And it looks as though they are going to have the water break now, just at the end here. Now, a quick word, Tony, before you depart, on what an unbelievable game of cricket we had yesterday. Super over. Was your heart in mouth kind of stuff there?
Yeah, you could say that. I'm not sure my blood pressure was anywhere where any doctor wanted it to be. No, it was a fantastic game of cricket on both sides. There's some great play. It was very intense. It was very tough cricket. It was very hard cricket, and everybody stood up. The Scottish fielders did a fantastic performance when they were defending a lowish total. The Dutch batters, I thought, played some great shots, and particularly towards the end, I was really impressed with how they were willing to trust their skills and play ramp shots and things like that, just to try and get those extra runs they needed. And then we came into the super over, and this is the first one actually I've ever experienced live, and certainly the first one I've ever experienced with Scotland actually doing it. And wow, what a way to end the game!
The composure from the Bryces was spectacular to watch.
They were very good, and they ran very hard, and that's what you have to do in a super over. It's all or nothing. It's all or nothing.
You can actually just tell the heat that's out there at the moment because the umpires have wet cloths going around their necks as well, just to cool down.
Wow, it is certainly very hot in Lamang, right? We're cosy behind this pagoda with the breeze, and even taking the walk to the restroom during the innings break was rather a sweaty affair. So I don't want to know what it's like playing out there. That's probably too much to offer the viewers, but we are being treated to this European heatwave here in Lamanga.
We'll have to get you training a bit more with the squads, Ian.
Yeah, I'm all right, Tony. Actually, I'm all right. I'm quite comfortable in this chair. To be honest. I wouldn't like to. I've seen some of the training drills they do, and The walk up to the apartment here, the La Manga is enough for me. It's enough for me. We get our step count, Kira and I. We walk around the ground a couple of times. But wonderful. We've got 2 deliveries to come here. They took the drinks break just with the strike of the 4th wicket here. Rachel's Skull's bowling there, but it was a run out by Catherine Fraser bowling it, throwing the delivery in there to Sarah Bryce at the stumps. I'm just intrigued here. Hang on a minute, it wasn't Sarah Bryce. Just wondering. 2 deliveries to come here. Oh, and almost straight past the bat there, Christina Goff.
That's well bowled. She's come on and done a job with the ball, definitely. I know Scully's a little bit upset just from her batting maybe in the first innings, but you just have to forget about that and just get on with it. They've got a job to do here. A couple of more wickets here might change that whole points board.
Just a bit of confusion here between the umpires. There is one to come. I think this happened yesterday, actually. Just an early switch of ends. That probably shows how hot it is out there. I think they're eager to maybe move a little bit. But yeah, just one to come in the over. There's a couple of smiles on the face of Catherine Bryce there. The umpire just has a little mistake there. One to come in the over. 31 for 4.
I think the wicket and the drinks break caused confusion.
It's just going to be the single. Could be direct hit, and it could have been a run out. Actually struck Christina Goff there on the run. So it's just the end over here. So before we say goodbye, Tony, what next for yourself, and what next for Scottish cricket?
Well, let's start with the important thing, which is Scottish cricket. I mean, we have, for the men, we've got the Cricket World Cup League Two taking place in Aberdeen in August. Then we've got obviously the qualifier, women's qualifier for the T20, which we talked about, taking place at the end of August, very beginning of September. And finally, we've got the new European T20 Slam starting also at the end of August and running through the first 2 or 3 weeks of September. In firstly Holland, then Scotland, and then in Ireland. And that was a fantastic departure, fantastic opportunity again to raise the profile of cricket in Scotland with some really big name players like Brendan McCullum, Rashid Khan and so on coming across and playing the cricket.
Playing in that?
No, don't know yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't heard confirmation of that, but there's been lots of talk about lots of players.
Yeah.
So there's a huge summer coming up for us, huge opportunities for people to come and see some top quality cricket, and huge opportunities for us to continue to raise the profile of cricket.
Absolutely. And yourself, you got any summer plans, or is it just cricket?
Well, I think my wife wants me to have a wee bit of a break from cricket, and she wants a wee bit of a break from cricket too, which I have to say I do understand. So we're away for a couple of weeks holiday in the one gap there is between cricket and ICC activities as well.
Very well. Well, Tony, thank you so much for joining us.
A real
here.
pleasure, Ian. Kira,
Absolutely.
thank you so much for
Thank
having
you.
me. Really kind, and hopefully you can commentate on lots of wickets shortly.
Absolutely. Oh, just narrowly misses the stumps there. That was Tony Bryan there, chair of Cricket Scotland, just joining us in commentary box there for a 5-over stint. Wonderful to hear all the work that Cricket Scotland are doing, and we've got this Scottish women's side here looking for an opportunity to get that net run rate possibly. Balance the figures, almost glances the bails there. It could have been a 4th wicket. Maksud, there is a bit of movement out there.
Again, going back, I think they need to keep the newer batter here on strike. Stryber on another wicket. Mix it up a little bit. This is Maksud's last over. She's definitely done a job for her team.
Full delivery.
Just bounces short of Scully out there.
Well, 2 to come, the signal by the umpire. A half chance there. Quick hands by Sarah Bryce behind the stumps as she looked to get the stumping. But the foot was in. Maiden pole. confident in her stance there. One to come for after her Maksud. And a wonderful delivery to end it on there. Well, that's a wonderful spell by Abtamat Maksud. 9-3 from her 4 overs. She's getting a warm reception from the tent and also the players on the field and also a couple of the player supporters around the ground. She picked up 3 wickets there of the 4 for Scotland and 35 for 4 now after 11 overs. What are Germany aiming for?
Germany would like to bat their 20 and obviously again push up another score. You know, try go one above. But again, no team in this competition this week has got Germany out. They haven't been all out, and how that could prove to be, you know, they need to work them out. Have a look who's facing, their technique. Do they like spin? Do they like pace? There's so many different things, and I'd also like to see just Scotland up and about a bit more, putting pressure on them with just maybe some energy in the field. They're all little tricks of the trade that work. Looking forward to lunch today, Ian.
Well, we are seeing an appearance here of Catherine Fraser. She's going to be bowling her first balls in international women's T20 cricket here. Now, I'm telling you, Kira, she has the most wonderful action. What a lovely start there. A dot ball to begin. 14-year-old here. Lots of support from her teammates. The off spin here, right arm off spin. Just push forward, gonna sneak a single in here. Rachel Scholes doing the collecting duties for Scotland, and another run. That's smart running there. Just push forwards.
Yeah, I see what you mean. He just got a really nice action. Just flights it up there. And actually could be the bowler they need here on this occasion. It's
Well, actually, a bowling action. I remember watching her at a regional game. It was Eagles versus the Stormers in the Scottish Women's Regional Series. A fantastic programme in Scotland, and sitting in the scorebox, and she came on to bowl. Everyone was heaping praise on the action. You know, when you have cricket enthusiasts going on about the action, everyone was gobsmacked by it. She's just setting the field a bit.
yeah, and I like that.
Assertive. Over the wicket.
She sends Cozy the wrong way. No, but I like seeing that young bowler that knows their field. They know where they're trying, their game plans, their bowling plans. Just might see a release shot here from this batter.
Yeah, Ruth Wilson doing the fielding duties again.
It's just gone wide on that occasion. Ian's just laughing at the bug attacking us here.
Yeah, plenty of flies attacking the commentary position here. Couldn't evade that one. Straight into the hands of Maksud and direct hit, and well, that's a little bonus there.
Bowler just, when she sees the batter moving a little bit, maybe hold the ball up a little bit. Well bowled.
They're going to sneak a single direct hit again. Really good pressure there for both the batters running between the wickets, and bowling team now. She's gone for 4 here with line and an no ball as well.
Catherine Fraser for first over. International cricket, well done.
Goes for 5.
I like her action, Ian. As you stated at the beginning, really nice. And as she's a young girl, and as she gets stronger, grows into her body, she's going to bowl really, really nicely. Again, I love seeing young bowlers taking control of their field. It's just the game plan. It's fantastic because there is still bowlers that are maybe around years that still don't fully understand that. And it's a huge part, especially T20 cricket, where it's really reactive and you've got to be ready for each ball.
Yeah, a lot of that experience comes from club cricket, and like I said, this regional series in Scotland, and it's very competitive now. People trying to earn Scotland places, and we've seen the results of that with Declan McCall and Kerry Scott and Catherine Fraser, earning a place here and getting an opportunity to perform here on the international scene. It's great to see, as we're going to see. This is going to be Katie McGill bowling her first overs of the match. She bowled fantastically yesterday, Kira, at the death as well. They're going to need to grab wickets here. You need to have a bit more of that attacking intent.
You've got 8 overs to go. It really needs to be the case. McGill, Katie McGill, I like her fiery approach. She's one of those characters that no matter what she's doing, she's giving it 100%. And there's some people you can't actually put that into. It's a great trait, especially in sport.
Just directing her field here and wanting a square leg, and Catherine Fraser's now at fine leg. Lots of pressure in. No one outside the inner ring right now. Oh, and almost off the bat and into the hands of Sarah Bryce. Really good bit of pace there from Katie McGill.
Good gloves, good hands by the keeper. Just doesn't allow the batter to move out of the crease. You want the keeper to be loud, have a presence. Just let the batter know that they're there. Scully still has 1 more over to go. Just want to.
Short delivery could be caught, and it is, and that's the wicket Katie McGill was looking for. Played into the air and caught, and that was Becky Glenn, the receiver there. Weak shot there by Waden-Pole. A bit of a gift for the receiver, and they've grabbed their 5th wicket.
Yeah, absolutely. And we spoke about earlier on just the style of cricket that Germany are going to play. They're going to play a little bit defensive, and they're not going to be overly attacking. And Scotland need to get their head around it and really have plan B, C on how they're going to approach that, because that can be a little bit draining, and you're thinking what you're doing is not coming off, or oh, we're never going to get these wickets. But you've got to try stay one step ahead of the batter and just have a look at their action, how they're approaching hitting the ball, what you can do, and really try bring on the wickets. New batter to the crease. Just going to check.
This is Anne Bierweich. Another left-hander, so you've got the two left-handers at the crease now for Germany. And, well, here's a bit of this attacking intent we've been talking about from the Scotland fielding settings. Everyone in the inner ring now. Lots of pressure, got to create these chances. Off the pad, big appeal.
A bit high on that occasion.
Yeah. It's off the 5 pad. Looks like it'll be jumping over the bails.
Just having a look at the batters. Doesn't look comfortable straight away. Get the field set correctly. Really force, target those pads if you need to.
That's a wide ball there. Oh, should be bowling well, and just the wider delivery. 42 for 5 now, 1 to come in this over. So the game is getting out of touch for Germany in terms of getting the win, but they're going to have these little wins that we've been talking about the whole tournament. And they would have set themselves objectives at the start of the day as well. You know, they're playing the doubleheader. What can they achieve from both the games? What can they achieve on a personal level?
They also know how much this means to Scotland, and I suppose what the weight on this game, and they'll try to bat it through and really put up a fight. It's not just a day for Scotland trying to reach all personal goals and try to go about their business, but Germany want to play cricket too. And although the runs have slowed down, they could still definitely pass out their score that they've previously got and take something away from this as they move into the second game later on against Holland.
Yeah, they got 65 against the Netherlands. High in the air, could be caught. And just fall short of Becky Glenn there.
Fielders need to be ready.
Yeah, talk us through that one.
I might see that as a chance, Ian.
Yeah, I think 2 steps in, she would have been well under that.
Yeah. And again, coming onto the ball sometimes it's not the easiest to read, and I appreciate that. And white ball and this kind of, whitey blue sky. But when you're trying to get wickets, you got to dive forward, because it doesn't matter if it bounces past you, it's probably not going to go for the 4 anyway.
Did strike off the pad, but they're going to take leg byes here, I think. I wonder if a little bit of bat, and I'm just waiting for the signal by the umpire. Yeah, there was bat on that. Well, yeah, it was half a chance, I think. Running a little eagerly as well. Could have dove for that, and it could have been a big wicket, and it could have been Catherine Fraser's first wicket in international cricket. Full of delivery, could be caught by Masood. Masood went for the one-handed catch. Rachel Scholes does the fielding right in front of us. Passed up to Becky Glenn, and good teamwork all round there. I mean, that would have been one of the catches of the summer if Masood managed to grab that one out. It would have been a massive dive to the left, one-handed pluck, but saves the boundary.
And just, they want to keep Christina Goff off face. She can play cricket all around. And they want to keep that batter on face. She struggles to pick it up and wants to kind of nurdle everything around just in front of her. That will bring on the LBW and could possibly bowl her, but maybe nick off. It's just keep this batter on strike if you want wickets. There's no footwork there, so as a bowler you need to be really getting on top of that.
They took out extra cover there, and Becky Glenn does the fielding, and that's the end of the over there. Well, good over there by Catherine Fraser just going for 5.
On that occasion, the batter used her feet and got the ball away. A nice shot, just more effective when she uses her feet. But again, these are things you learn with time out in the middle.
Yeah, pardon me, 6 off the over there. Catherine Fraser figures of 11 for no wickets from her 2 overs. Just going to take a look at the points table again, and if you're tuning in, welcome to the ICC Women's Qualifier 2019 in Europe. This is the points table. This is where things stand. Netherlands on top, and that net run rate going to be the big thing to look at in the afternoon. Netherlands are going to face Germany, and they're having their lunch right now, but they'll be pretty happy with Germany batting out the 20 overs and scoring as many runs as possible. Scotland after 20 overs, 168 for 8. Katie McGill, lots of pace on that ball there, and one of the fastest deliveries we've seen all week, I actually think.
I think Katie also needs to maybe mix it up and come around for 1 or 2. Especially if this batter's not moving her feet. But I think just they really need to go for it now at this stage. And I know they are, it's easier said than done from the sideline. Just really mix it up.
And the slower delivery there. And lets out a gasp, and she knew that was just inches away from sliding under the bat there and popping around. Lots of encouragement here for Katie McGill. They're looking to grab that 6th wicket.
Later on this month, France, Jersey, Norway and Austria women will play each other in France. So there's lots of European cricket happening. Women's cricket.
Could be run out if it was a direct hit, pardon me. And
Austria have just recently started a women's comp there. And Jersey are continued to build. And I know that Cricket for Girls, Lydia Greenway has been over working with the Jersey team. But I suppose just more and more cricket happening. And it's really, really good to see.
well, this is all part of that qualification. Well, Netherlands and Scotland have almost secured their places as the 50 comes up for Germany, and a big applause round the ground once again. And well, yeah, it's all, they've secured their place at the global qualifier with Scotland hosting and Netherlands almost certain now get their place to Scotland in August. But it's all part of that T20, and a very wide delivery there by Katie McGill. She holds her hand on her head in frustration. But yeah, they're very exciting, this T20 World Cup. That's going to be Australia 2020, and on March the 8th, this is also coinciding with International Women's Day. It's going to be the final at the MCG, and they're attempting to break a new attendance record, a world record for a women's sporting event, and trying to fill the MCG. Big appeal for leg before wicket here, and it's given out. Katie McGill grabs her second wicket here towards the end of the over. Another LBW, and that's the end of captain Christina Goff here. A massive wicket for Scotland to get. She departs on 17. Well, another wicket for Scotland.
Yeah, and it's actually interesting where Christina Goff comes in the order. I feel she could come up a little bit higher as well. But she's batted really well, and just with experience and more time in the middle, she's definitely going to develop an all-round game.
Well, here's the bowling card here, and it's been run-outs, and I would say the pick of bowlers after her, Maksud there. 3 wickets, 1 maiden, 9 runs from her 4 overs. A fantastic spell.
I think actually Rachel Scholes and Maksud bowled well together because they were building up pressure from one end to the other, and that mustn't be kind of overlooked because it might necessarily be someone getting the wicket, but it could be your partner down the other end, and overall it's a team wicket. So
absolutely. Well, 52 for 6 now, as Scotland will look to get these final 4 wickets in quick succession. It's all about net run rate at the end of this game, and Netherlands will be playing this afternoon. That game's going to be streamed live, the final game. The 6th match of 6 games here in La Manga, and we'll be on commentary duties for the final time this summer. It's Katie McGill. 1 delivery to come.
Just after this tournament, Scotland go home and just gather their thoughts and go again, because they're playing a small tournament against the Dutch, Ireland and Thailand before the qualifiers. And then Holland as well are in that, and they go home, and they have, as well as that, a short contest against Bangladesh. Zimbabwe just overnight have pulled out. The women aren't travelling. They were supposed to play Ireland tomorrow, and just due to funding won't be over. And I don't know if that will affect them playing the Dutch. I'm not sure, but there's lots of cricket coming up for all teams here in the months to come.
Well, it's Melina Beersvoort. It was the new batter at the crease joining Beerwijs.
I think you've turned into a German person. You've
Well,
very good pronunciation.
I'm not too sure about that. I've had some very dodgy pronunciations throughout this week. But yes, we're going to see Rachel Scholes again now.
I think this is a good move.
Good decision. And again, all the fielders in the inner ring. Yeah, there's really good pressure here.
Rachel Scholes is a very tall off spinner, and she does tend to dart it in. But I just think on this occasion, trying to get wickets, it might be the flight that would be the answer.
Oh, and they've got the slip in place as well. Becky Glenn in first slip. Really sensible decision here. Lots of pressure here from Scotland. Oh, and almost finds the edge. Really good bowling here by Rachel Scholes. 52 for 6 in the 16th over. Well, it's all about net run rate, runs conceded, runs scored. Really about that percentage. Calculators will be out for the second game, and how the Netherlands are going to approach that. Who wins the toss? Big hit in the air. There's not going to be a fielder there. Lorna Jack would have had to dive like Superman to get that.
They've got 24 balls now to really clean up this tail end. And just, you know, I think things that Scotland need to look at, just how these batters go about. They're very defensive. And just really think about what they want to bowl, what line of length they want to bowl to try get these wickets. Because Germany obviously are happy to bat the 20. So, real weight on what they're going to do. But if Scotland want to clean up and really give themselves the best opportunity going into later into the day, they really need to get these wickets. Do you think there's nerves out there? They haven't been overly loud.
Absolutely. I think they understand the situation right now. You can tell the energy levels have dropped, and there's a couple of applauses here. But my concern is that they're seeing the amount of runs, and I think it's getting to their head a little bit right now. We're going to see Catherine Bryce. I think what they've got to do is stay 100% focused towards getting these final 4 wickets. Really nice delivery from Catherine Bryce there. Really good start to the over here. And they've got to maintain that energy level and go and finish this off. You know, this is their final game of the tournament as well. Like you said, you know, this is really competitive cricket. They're going to have that quadrangle series, but this is preparation for them for this global qualifier. You've got to clean up teams. Really
it's a good ball, mixing it up the lengths. Yes. And I like the way she's come around, Dean. It's, you know, and then even dart one in from over. You know, try pull the batter forward, dart in a Yorker, really mix it up. Just, you know, Catherine Bryce has a lot of experience here.
I think a lot of credit also to Germany. I mean, again, they're really resilient at the crease. It'll be very easy for an inexperienced side here to possibly have a collapse. But they're all going in here and wanting to put up a stand and bat out these 20 overs, it seems. Game is getting out of sight for them. but they've got a double header again. You know, they're playing the Netherlands. It's going to be a very difficult game for them this afternoon. They conceded a lot of runs, 196 runs against them when they played them 2 days ago, and I think they'll be really pleased with their performance today, Kira. They showed fantastic character throughout the whole game. And what to say, a brilliant bowling performance. Cleared through that middle order of Scotland, and Scotland had a batting collapse of their own after the departure of Catherine Bryce.
Yeah, you can see Catherine Bryce is mixing up her action. You can see her wrist moving. There's lots going on there. She's trying to mix up the balls that she's bowling down, but it's just not happening.
Bill Weiss seems very content here at just pushing it forward and letting the maiden there. A maiden over for Catherine Bryce, really well bowled, and they'll be happy with that. A few runs conceded and it all contributes.
I might even,
net run
Fraser
rate.
has an over left, possibly two. I might even bring her on from the far end.
We're doing well. Katie McGill's now going to come on from this end.
Yeah.
This is the near end closest to us here, not the scoreboard end. And I think we might see Catherine Fraser bowl the other end as well. Maxsood is bowled out. And yeah, well, they also have Chatterjee to come back to as well. The latter part of 3 overs to come here. Really good length there from Katie McGill, right on the toes. Well, 53 for 6 here, 3 overs to go. Scotland looking to get the final 4 wickets. They have grabbed late wickets before. They did against the Netherlands.
Nice shot.
Really good cover drive. Lorna Jack doing the chasing here and does the collecting duties. The ball does slow up. That's Lorna Jack on your screen there. Almost tripping over the ball, it seemed. Just having a stretch.
Having a moment. The pressure of the day as well. It's all on the shoulders. You know, these guys would have went to bed last night thinking about what they had to do. You're waking up and you're trying to, and you can't control any of that sort of stuff. It's really hard.
She saw Catherine Bryce come over there just to give a word of support to Lorna Jack, just make sure everything's okay. It's taken a little bit of a tumble. 55 for 6 right now. Scotland again cries for come on Scotland around the ground. There's a big saltire on one of the flagpoles, flying very high. I notice teams do that, you know, on their away trips. They put up the flags, make it feel like a home ground, and that flag is certainly making it seem like La Manga at this oval here is part of Scotland's thing. We've also got the orange bunting of the Netherlands and a couple of the German flags hanging around as well. Push forward and well, that's just the 2 off the over there for Katie McGill. And then again, that goes into the game plan here for Scotland. Fewer runs conceded, 2 overs to go. 55 for 6. The game is out of sight here for Germany. But the little wins, we just got a couple drinks coming on. Let's just take a look at this batting card here for Germany. Kieran, just talk us through this one.
I think they would have set out to try get a higher runs than they set out at the highest total today. You never know, that might happen in the last few overs, but I think they've done well. We've showed that they're going to play a little bit of gritty cricket, but I think all in all they've learned so much over the week, and you can see even how they've gone about. The openers definitely come out and they ran singles. They got off to a quick start. And for these guys, it's spending time out there and taking as much as they can out of this week. And they've definitely improved, without a shadow of a doubt.
Absolutely. Catherine Bryson again, and Biavage very happy just to put her bat forward there, and as it comes to her toes, no challenge there. Oh, and almost a wicket there.
You've got to understand as well, Germany aren't used to playing on grass wickets, you know, different training facilities, you know, training against each other, and you know, there's lots of things that can be looked at there that can improve them. But I think they're doing very, very well this week, and they're a team on the up.
Ruth Willis doing the chasing there for Scotland, and another run onto the board. Well, Melina Beresford here plays Catherine Bryce, and there's a couple fielding changes happening right now. They're sticking out deep square leg, and challenge is just moving down to third man. Oh, and square legs back in. Someone's fell really awkwardly there.
I think Scalzi's just getting old.
Well, just one off the over here, and again, very few runs conceded, and one over to come here. 56 for 6. As that run rate is way down below 3 now, and they do require a run rate of 113 if they wanted to win this game, but that's definitely out of sight. Resilient effort here by the Germans, and Scotland keeping that run rate low, and hopefully for them it's going to have an impact on the net run rate towards the end of the game, and then it's all going to be down to Netherlands versus Germany in the afternoon here. But one over to come in this game, 56 for 6. They're going to grab 2 runs here. They are going to go for 2. Ruth Willis, no, pardon me, that's Becky Glenn. The big arm there. This is Keely McGill bowling the final over just on your screen there. She bowled really well at the death, and this is going to be about conceding as few runs as possible in this final over for Scotland. Plays the sweep shot again and just misses the hands of Lorna Jack, and Aurora frustration there. So just slides past. A lot of tired bodies out there. They've been playing in the heat, you can tell.
It's also, I think, mentally, just, you know, trying to figure out what was the best way to attack this game. Did it come off? Did it not? And that plays it's a huge weight on you.
And that's another dot ball there, and that's promising for Scotland. 3 off the over so far. The score 59 for 6. This is Germany's second highest ever T20 international total. In the air, could be caught. Catherine Fraser with the catch. And that's another wicket at the end. She's taken a catch in international cricket there. Pretty bog standard catch there, running in mid wicket to mid on. Katie McGill picks up well, that's a third wicket for Katie McGill. And a 7th wicket for Scotland here in the final over. What are your thoughts about this game, Kira? It's been an interesting one. It's kind of died out at the end here.
Yeah, it's I think. Yeah, I think it's really interesting. I think in certain stages maybe Scotland could have gone a little bit more attacking. I know there was the fear then of runs going on the board, but it's kind of one that you have to digest and have a good think about.
Absolutely.
You can see definitely that the Scots at the moment are a little bit mentally drained, I'd say, as well as physically. It's been a long week. You're trying to do a couple of jobs, just at one tournament, and trying to play good cricket and just get their head around that. And they've worked very hard up to this, and I don't think they should take negatives away from this at all. We'll see what happens later on today, but they've got so much cricket to play this summer, and they need to take all the positives, put them together, and keep moving forward in their journey.
It's played on. Ruth Willis just missing the hands there, and Lorna Jack's going to do collecting duties, playing a sweeper role out here in the deep. Collects in some more runs there, met with a big cheer at the end, and well, that's the end of the game. Scotland secure the victory against Germany. Picked up their 3rd win here. The ICC Women's Qualifier Europe 2019. As Germany finish on 61 for 7 after 20 overs. Well, as you were doing your summary there, it's been a very interesting game of cricket. I wonder what the mood will be. No one will know until after this Netherlands game. Have Scotland done enough to get that net run rate required? There's a lot of tired bodies out there, but Germany's actually running back.
I think we also have to say, congratulations to Scotland. They played well, another international win.
Absolutely.
And it's just the other little kind of stuff going on in the background. We'll see by the end of the day how that affects them. But again, they've won a convincing win by 107 runs, and they've played well. It's not easy playing maybe against a German side who are learning their trade at the moment and play defensive cricket, to try get what they want out of the game. But I think, they've done well.
Absolutely. That's the confirmation there. Scotland secured a win by 107 runs here in La Manga. Like I said, it's all going to be all to play for in the final game, as I mutter up my words. All to play for against Netherlands versus Germany, but they have secured their 3rd victory. They secured a victory in a super over against the Netherlands, and that's 2 victories against Germany. Well, we're going to take a look back at just the innings here and talk a little bit about this. Well, let's actually take a look at the batting card here. Fantastic. Well, here we are. Here's the Germany batting card here, and a lot of resilience showed by the Germans. They've played remarkably well here.
They haven't. I'd like to see Christine Goff come up that order. Her coming in at number 3 could definitely. The 2 openers are very attacking. They went around and they put on a few runs, and I think it would give her more time and maybe some higher order batters to work with. Her and Anna Healy could definitely rotate the strike and put on a good partnership there in the coming game.
Just taking a look at the bowling card here. Some wonderful bowling performances here by the Scotland women's side. Catherine Bryce with the maiden and 11 runs of her 4 overs. 5 runs from Priyanaz Chatterjee and Abtaha Maqsood. 3 wickets, 9 runs, 1 maiden and 4 overs. A fantastic opening spell by Abtaha. She really picked up them 2 quick wickets, and it was wonderful to see.
Yeah, and also we've seen the wicket, how it plays. This wicket's been used all week. Spinners are always going to be, ones that are going to play a vital part here, and especially with them needing wickets, they needed to get them on early. And in fairness to Scotland, they've gone for 7 extras, which is good. The best in the tournament so far. So, yeah.
but if you just look at the fuller wickets there, they grab the quick ones and then they let the partnership build. So we are going to take a look at the updated points table here, and this is how it's going to sit going into the final game of the ICC Women's Qualifier. Well, there is Scotland on top with 3 wins. They have got enough in the net run rate there just to sneak above 2.37 and 2.3 for the Netherlands, but it's all going to be to play for in this final game. Well, be sure to tune in for this final game as we're just going to round off here. That's the points table. Well, it's been an interesting game of cricket. Scotland have secured the victory. 107 run victory over Germany. They sit comfortably at the top of the table right now. 3 wins from their 4 games out here in La Manga. We got 1 game to come here from the coverage of the ICC Women's Qualifier Europe 2019. But in the meantime, be sure to come back 3:30 Spanish time, and that will also be, if you're watching from the UK, 2:30 as well. Be sure to check it out. We'll be on commentary duties. But in the meantime, thank you for listening.